Step into the day with the dawn ringing in my ears. Oh, well, I tune into my TV show. No better way, I gotta get myself into gear. Let's go. Oh, and I feel good today with my wake up in the morning espresso. I feel good today. It's my feel good breakfast show.
Welcome to it, you beautiful souls. We're happy to see each other.
Yes.
And we're happy to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us on this beautiful Tuesday morning. I know I say this often, but it could be. This could be the best day of your life. Really, if you don't know.
It really is.
It's early days,
Especially if you woke up right now and you're watching us, then you're definitely on the right step already.
So, yes, we are nearing the end of the year. Can you believe it? If you're out in the shops at the moment, yes, you will come home singing. Sing it for me, Carl, from the most wonderful time of the year. Yep, it is that time of the year. So we're going to start reflecting on that time that has passed and take stock of all of the goals that we have achieved. I don't know if anyone did set any New Year's resolutions.
Survival was definitely one of them.
But there has been progress, so hopefully you'll see some positive
Yeah, man, and if you haven't achieved it, then we still have time to do that. And we're catching up with Nikki Bush to find out exactly how we can do this effectively. Gee, you got any goals this year? Have you clapped any?
I've done a lot to do.
I mean, you're standing tall, you're looking a lot stronger.
It's all about the core.
Man's
okay?
getting...
And if I say that today at any point, and this is to all the presenters, say core.
Core.
Core. Okay, that's core. Not to be confused with parkour. They're similar, but it's a bit close. No, yeah, we are achieving things, and we love the fact that despite all of the negativity, yes, we are starting to see a silver lining. And my silver lining every morning is that I get to see these beautiful faces. Yeah. Look at them. Core. Core.
Thank you. Oh.
Yes, goeiemorgen, good morning. My name's Carl Wasty, and this lovely lady right next to me is Zoe Brown.
Oh,
Good to see you.
Good to see you. You know what? It's Tuesday morning. It still feels like a Monday to me some mornings, but today is all about reflecting, and we want to connect with you on social media. So the question we are asking you is, which of your New Year's resolutions did you actually achieve this year? Please let us know. If you haven't yet, maybe tell us what they were, and we can share that with everyone.
I think the secret is the more vague the resolution, the better it feels when you achieve that something. So, like things like surviving.
Yes.
Done.
Hello.
Things like drinking water, making sure that you wake up nice and fresh in the morning. I'm not sure, any resolutions from yourself?
For me was to focus on my health.
Done. See, make them vague and you'll achieve a whole lot more. An idea for you. But send yours over to the Expresso Facebook page as we get on to some news details. Stand by.
Thank you so much, team. And I'm definitely looking forward to those answers. Please come through on our social media channels. I'd love to see what your resolutions were. But for now, it's time to start off with the news. And in national fronts, where the Gauteng Police Commissioner, Elias Mawela, has congratulated a task force after they raided an alleged kidnapping syndicate in the province. Now, 6 men were arrested in connection with hijacking and kidnapping in Hillbrow, Johannesburg last week. And a 47-year-old man who was allegedly abducted was rescued earlier yesterday morning at a house in Crystal Park, Ekurhuleni. Now, Gauteng Police spokesperson Dimakatso Selo says one of the suspects is believed to be the mastermind behind several kidnappings. Now, he's currently on bail for 3 other incidents of hijacking, kidnapping, as well as extortion. And now, in other national news, President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on South African men to take the lead in efforts to prevent and report gender-based violence. Now, Ramaphosa says the latest quarterly crime statistics show an increase in domestic violence, rape, as well as murder of children. Now, the president says every year in November, the annual 16-day campaign of activism against violence against women and children takes place. Now, Ramaphosa said if men undertook to never raise a hand against a woman, good progress could be made in the fight against gender-based violence. And now to take a look at international news fronts, and starting off with gender activists who have commended Mauritian President Prithviraj Rupun, who has been appointing Rihanna Bibi as Chief Justice, which is a first for a woman to hold that position on the island. Now, she becomes the second woman this year to head an African country's justice system. And in May, President Uhuru Kenyatta appointed Judge Martha Koome as Kenya's first female Chief Justice. Now, Mauritius is the fourth best country in terms of gender equality in sub-Saharan Africa, behind SA, Rwanda, as well as Namibia, and according to figures from the African Development Bank. And now in other news, going to Europe, Germany's health minister, Jens Spahn, has issued his starkest warning yet on the importance of getting vaccinated. And he said, with a quote, "By the end of this winter, everyone in Germany will either be vaccinated, recovered, or dead." Unquote. Now, Germany's infection rate is at its highest since the pandemic began, and health experts have warned this wave could be the worst yet. Now, in the past 24 hours, there have been almost 31,000 new infections, 7,000 more than a week ago. And this is the highest rates in the world. But now next, news on eThekwini's spectacular sand sculpture competition. Now, Lindo Zungu of KwaGlabisa in KwaZulu-Natal was victorious in the sand sculpture competition at Durban's South Beach during the weekend and bagged a grand prize of 10,000 Rand. Now, Lindo says his plan is to buy a car with his winnings as a further investment in his cattle stock back home in KwaGlabisa. Now, he has been a sand artist for 18 years, and it's now that he earns a living, and his sand creations on beaches are admired by thousands right throughout South Africa. And Lucas Mlachlang came second and won 5,000 Rand, with Jabulani Ndlanzi, who was placed third and walked off with a 2,500 Rand cash prize. Now, the artist's brief for the competition was "My City, Our City, the Place to Be." And the competition was held alongside the Kosafa Beach Soccer Championship at Durban's new beach, where Mozambique won the finale. Now, city spokesperson Masawake Maisela said hosting the Kosafa Beach Soccer Championship was a step towards realizing Durban's vision to grow beach sport. And he added with a quote, "We wish our beaches to be fully utilized for sport, leisure, and tourism." Well, on that note, I leave you with the rest of the headlines coming up right now. We've got the sport with G, and I'll see you in the next hour.
Thank you so much. Well, let's start with football news this morning. England's manager Gareth Southgate has now signed a new contract to keep him in the role up until December of 2024. Southgate has been manager of the national side since November of 2016, and his previous contract was set to run out after the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, of course. He led England to the final of the Euros 2020, which was their best men's performance in 55 years. The 51-year-old led England to the World Cup semi-finals for the first time back in 28 years ago, rather, in 2018, and also finished third in the UEFA Nations League. So a pretty good run. England have won 44 of their 68 matches under Southgate. Then staying with football news, Barcelona midfielder Pedri has won the 2021 Golden Boy Award for the best under-21 player playing in a European country's top division. The 18-year-old beat England and Borussia Dortmund midfielder Jude Bellingham to the award by a record 199 points. Pedri played more minutes than any other Barca player last season, going on to play at Euro 2020 and then win an Olympic silver medal with Spain. And Dortmund forward Erling Haaland won the award back in 2020. Now on to tennis. Italy's Jannik Sinner climbed into the world top 10 of the ATP rankings. It was after the ATP finals. Sinner was knocked out in the pool phase of the end-of-season tournament, but climbs above Canadian player Felix Auger-Aliassime, who drops now to 11th. And Alexander Zverev, who won the title on Sunday, remains in third, while Novak Djokovic was already assured of ending this year as number one. Then Garbine Muguruza jumped 2 places to number 3 in the WTA rankings. It was after her victory in the season-ending WTA finals. And then Ashley Barty remains firmly atop the rankings, followed by Arina Sabalenka. And then on to cricket. Pakistan completed a 3-0 T20 series win against Bangladesh. That was with their 5-wicket win in their final match yesterday. So the Tigers won the toss and chose to bat first, and 2 wickets each from Mohammad Wasim and Usman Khadir saw Pakistan restrict their hosts to just 124 for 7. In response, Haider Ali top scored with 45. Well, there was a little bit of late drama with Mahmudullah taking 3 wickets in the final over, almost snatching the win for his team. Pakistan, though, held their nerve and won the match off the final delivery. So the win means they have won more T20 matches than any other country in 2021. Well, we'll touch on those headlines again in an hour or so. Right now, let's set the tone and the scene for today with a bit of a weather perspective.
Thanks a lot, G. Let's do that. And starting off with some weather news for you now. Flooding has subsided and clearing up operations are in full swing, the George municipality in the Western Cape said last night. This after heavy rain and extensive flooding caused havoc in various areas along the Garden Route yesterday. Several areas were underwater after heavy downpours, and emergency services had to rescue several trapped residents and motorists. Many roads were closed and municipal services disrupted. By 4 p.m., 139 millimeters of rain had been recorded at George's water treatment works. 49 schools in the George area were closed, but Western Cape Education Department spokesperson Brona Hammond said the department had ensured that all matric examination centres were open to afford grade 12 candidates an opportunity to write. Contingency arrangements for learners were made in many instances to reach their examination venues. One learner used a tractor to get from Pakalsdorp to his school in George. The well-known singer-songwriter Elvis Blue's home was one of the many that was flooded. We are sending all our thoughts and prayers to all of those affected during this time. We're hoping that mopping up operations will be swift. So our thoughts are with you, George. So moving to Sunrise Views, we receive via the Expresso Facebook page, John Jordan. He starts our morning off with this beautiful hazy shot of the day beginning at the Vaal River. And then regular contributor Gary Oakham captured this beautiful shot of the mother city during a recent visit to Cape Town. Gary, next time tell us that you're here and you can come visit. Anyway, let's move on to some of the temperatures from across South Africa, and starting with you, Polokwane. Good morning, 14 to 25 for you today. You have an 87% of thunder showers in your area. Bombela, thunder showers, 89%, 16 is your minimum, and you jump up to 27 a little later. Pretoria, 14 to 27. Johannesburg, 13, and you will be up to 25 this afternoon. Mahikeng, you top at 29 degrees Celsius, 14 is your low. Klerksdorp, 12 to 28 today. Kimberley, 11 to 25. Bloemfontein, expect some thunder showers, 55% chance for you, 22 the high from a low of just 8. Richards Bay, 16. You jump up to 24 with an 88% chance of thunder showers. Pietermaritzburg, you can expect thunder showers, a 90% chance. 20 is your high. That's from a low of 11. Durban, 16, 24 for you. Mthatha, 18, and that's where you stay for the entire day. 55% is your chance of thunder showers. East London, 14 to 20 today. Cradock, expect rain if it's not raining already. A 55% chance, 19 the high. Gqeberha, 14 to 20, 55% chance thunder showers for you. George, you can expect 13 to 19. Rain, as you may imagine, is expected, and of course, as those mopping up operations continue. Cape Town, 16 to 22. Worcester, 11, and you will be jumping up to 24 later. Sutherland, you wake up to 7 degrees Celsius, up to 21, and then Uppington wrapping with you as always, 17, and your day will max out at 31 degrees Celsius. That's a wrap with the weather news, sunrise views, and temperatures. I'll have another update for you in 1 hour as we help a man that doesn't really need a shirt find a shirt.
I would like one though, Carl, and obviously with the festive season fast approaching and clearly judging by that weather, it is going to be a hot one. But luckily for us, men's short sleeve shirts are stylish again. And today, it's a fresh and dapper look that I'm trying to go for. And I've opted for to start off the look with these skinny white jeans, but of course with it being Tuesday, which means it's Choose Day, which means I need you to help me choose my look for today, all right? So as I said, I've already got the skinny fit jeans and I'm looking to add to this. And we've got two short sleeve shirts to look at. Short sleeve shirts, it's a bit of a tongue twister, that one over there. But step number one, we've got the dusty pink option. Now this is really cool. I love the color of this. It's a calming color. It's got that reassuring feeling as well. And I think it's something that's ideal, that's gonna help calm and reassure emotional energies, both within me as well as around me. So this is like somewhat of a crowd pleaser, I think. But then we've also got option number 2 here. Now this is the khaki shirt. Also, these are so light to the touch as well. It is made of cotton, but I love the fact that for the khaki, it kind of harmonizes the energy around you. I think it's going to be a really tight option between the two. I don't know, Mzansi, what do you think? You need to let me know. You need to let me look good for the day, please, of course, with it being Tuesday. And you can have both of these perfect looks. And I need you to choose one, of course. But the decision lies with you. So you can also vote for your favorite shirt. You're going to head over to the Expresso social media pages and comment on the poll post. And don't forget to include the hashtag Styled by Woolies. And I'm going to be wearing the winning shirt for the duration of the show. So please come through, Mzansi. I'll see you in a bit.
A promise to the planet to tread lightly, to act with care, to think of the future, to appreciate nature, to shop more sustainably. Woolworths, the difference.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso here at S3, and this morning we discuss how looking backward to look forward now could actually be the best tip you received to get into gear for 2022 with Nikki Bush, human potential and parenting expert and author of the brand new book, Future Proof Yourself. Nikki, an honor and a pleasure. After a long year, we're a bit bushed, so it's good to chat to you.
Thank you, Carl. Thanks for that pun. No pun intended, I'm assuming.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Why would I pun? We're talking about serious business here. But Nikki, it's great to have you. And I just wanted to kind of unpack this with you because are you saying we need to kickstart 2022 right now? And why would you say that?
Yes, actually I am, Carl, because what tends to happen is we sort of crawl to the end of the year and then we get to the last couple of days of December and then we think the whole, of 2022 is going to be so different to 2021, and we tend to find people literally dropping into an emotional and mental slump in January, let alone the fact that the money is scarce in January as well. So what I really would be saying to all of our viewers right now is take stock of 2021 now in November, before we even get to December. Look back at the year that has happened, that has gone by, and celebrate how far you have come. And this will energize you to feel optimism as you look forward, and renewed energy and gratitude really for what's happened in the year. And it really is a great antidote to this phenomenon of languishing that is plaguing so many at this critical time of the year, this like meh feeling. And I actually did an exercise 2 weekends ago where I put together a PowerPoint presentation of my year in pictures. And this is what I really want to encourage people to do today.
So the encouragement is actually warranted because I think about the festive season, it goes on fast forward. I feel like the festive season and your leave are the fastest things that happen on any given year. And by the time you hit January, you're not even ready for what you haven't unpacked just yet. So this is great advice. But what do you mean by looking back to look forward? I think I want to actually get a bit deeper into that.
Okay, so what I want you to do is capture your year in Technicolor. And this is not a numbers empirical measurement of your year. I actually want people to look at their year with curiosity and interest to regain perspective and equilibrium. And when I say we're going to capture our year in pictures and in Technicolor, I want you to open up a PowerPoint presentation. I call it Reflections of 2021. And I want you to look at your year through 3 lenses, 3 categories. The one is joy, the other is growth, and the third is excellence. You can actually look at your year in these 3 categories. I promise you, it's going to explode in front of you. If you're feeling a bit down and a bit sluggish right now, look back to look forward. Get that cell phone out, because I promise you, you've been capturing pictures all year in these 3 categories of joy, growth, and excellence, and pull those photographs into your PowerPoint presentation. And by the way, this is a private PowerPoint presentation. This is your movie of your year, especially for you.
I love it. We get to make our own movie of 2021, which is great, because I think that visual sort of reflection it's quite tangible, as opposed to just saying, oh, I did that when? March? I love this concept so much. And I think that, including myself, many people would like to get hold of the Reflections of 2021 template. Where can we get that, Nikki?
Right, so you can find that at nikkibush.com, and just go into the search bar and put Reflection Template, and it'll come up. It's free. Download it and get cracking, because it's going to give you that framework to get started. And everybody needs a little kickstart every now and again.
Nikki, we need to continue this conversation in the next couple of moments. I want to give you a moment to reflect on what we just said. Nikki will be back in a bit. Stay with us at your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thank you, Wasty. Well, you know what? Listening to Nikki Bush, I always think, you know, moms are our superheroes. And have you ever met a mom that is not busy? Now, all the moms I know are always on the go. And it is also that time of the year where life just doesn't seem to slow down. So today, we have got the perfect dish for busy moms and people and families. And a stir fry that is both healthy and quick and so easy to make. This is my kind of recipe. Quick and easy.
It is indeed. First of all, how come you're like 9 foot tall? You're wearing the highest heels.
I'm wearing newer shoes that is a little bit higher.
Can I have a box, please? I'm feeling a little inferior. No, I love this. I absolutely love it. I'm glad you included people in the mix, because I do like to cook as well. I absolutely adore it. Love aubergine or eggplant. Love how
brinjal.
Sweet it gets.
It's got so many names.
I'm too smooth and creamy to be an aubergine. We absolutely love it. And this is healthy, it's veg, and it's quick. And the thing with stir frying, especially when you're using a brilliant oil like this, the canola and olive oil mix from Be Well has a much higher smoking point because of the canola oil. So you don't get all the bad fats, and the frying is quick, so it just seals in the flavor, but you don't get too much oil, which is great.
I know, and what I love about the unique benefits of Be Well's canola oil combined with the taste of carefully selected extra virgin olive oils, it produces a quality oil with a beautiful olive taste profile. It's made exclusively using locally sourced GMO-free canola oil. So what are you doing over there?
All right, so I've got some cornstarch, or now I know is the same as corn flour. Really great here to create a nice crispy coating, because you want that kind of like caramelization, that crispiness. So I'm going to just toss that through, because you want this stir fry, it kind of really works because it's flavorful, but it's also got kind of this sweet, sticky, beautiful feel to it. Or a lot of that's coming from your sauce.
Which I'm making from the sauce. So here in front of me, I've got some corn flour, a little bit of sugar, as well as some soy sauce, and that's really going to give us that stickiness that you were talking about.
So with the size of my cubes, because the brinjal, the eggplant does kind of reduce in size a little bit, you still want it to have a bit of body, and you need it to cook through, because it's got to cook through to soften and get sweet. That's the key thing here. So, you know, you can go quite large with your chunks, but it doesn't have to be a perfect science.
Yeah, and because you're coating it, because it's one of those, you know, vegetables that gives off a lot of water, you're kind of sealing it in.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the key, and I try and do this with stir fries as well, because you know you've got to kind of pre-plan what's going in when, so you don't have too much moisture in the pan. But I think like a hotter fry is good, because you're going to quickly cook it, seal it. Still going to keep a lot of that freshness, that the goodness, the healthy benefits, without it becoming too mushy and too watery. Oh, that looks good.
And it smells good. I mean, there's something about soy sauce that's just always a winner.
Oh, I absolutely love it. So these guys, you're going to just try and kind of make sure they're cooked on all of their different dimensions and sides, and then just to speed things up a little bit. Obviously, you want to see that browning, and once they've got a bit of color all the way around, then we're going to add our beautiful sauce. We're obviously speeding this process up a little bit.
I always feel like we were a bit, we could have been a bit more generous with our sauce.
You could.
Make it nice and saucy.
Oh, and
Well, we do have this recipe available for you, the list of ingredients, the amounts you need to use, as well as the steps to it. It's on our website, expressoshow.com. And all you have to do is you search for the Be Well eggplant stir-fry recipe, and then you can have it.
Oh, and it's beautiful. I see how they achieved that. You're going to get all these lovely little crispy bits as that lovely sauce thickens and caramelizes.
And there's something about a stir-fry paired with your soy sauce is your ginger, your garlic, all of those flavor profiles. That's just incredible.
Thank you for saying that, because I've just found our garlic. And notice we didn't put the garlic in first. Why? Because it burns. It's got a very high sugar content. So I know your instinct is to kind of put your oil, onions, garlic first.
I do that.
Leave the garlic a little bit longer so it doesn't burn, and because it can burn very quickly. But you still want those flavors to permeate through the whole dish. Then we've got our ginger as well. As you said, this is like stock standard for a stir-fry. And then I'm going to give it a pinch of pepper. And once this is cooked through and is looking absolutely beautiful and amazing, pop it into a serving dish. A little bit of, we've got some spring onions there, maybe some sesame seeds for a bit of crunch, because you want that texture. And then we end with that beautiful, beautiful bowl of aubergine stir-fry.
Well, this is giving me dinner inspiration, because I'm hosting a dinner tonight and I still haven't decided on what to make. So this might make the menu.
Oh, and it's smelling amazing. That ginger's popping. Beautiful.
Oh, amazing. Well, if you want to get your hands on this delicious recipe, it is our Be Well eggplant stir-fry. You can find it on our website. That is expressoshow.com.
Golden Cloud and Beacon are on the search for South Africa's best baking duo this holiday season. So grab your son, daughter, grandchild, nephew or niece and start creating in the kitchen. To enter, look out for our weekly holiday baking inspiration on air and on our social pages. Then create your own special bake with Golden Cloud and Beacon treats. Take a picture and share it on the Golden Baker Search Junior Edition competition post on the Expresso Facebook or Twitter pages, or on our website using the hashtag Golden Baker Search, and tell us why you are SA's best baking duo. You could be one of the 5 finalists competing on TV for the grand prize worth 35,000 Rand. Let's create together with the Golden Baker Search Junior Edition on Expresso Morning Show, brought to you by Golden Cloud and Beacon. Entries close on the 18th of December. 5 finalists, 1 winning duo to be crowned live on Expresso.
your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso here in S3. In case you missed it, I've been chatting to somebody so amazing. We've been discussing the importance of some self-reflection, especially at the end of the year, with human potential and parenting expert Nikki Bush, and she's got some more tips to give. Now, in case you missed it, Nikki had this concept about joy, right? That was one of them. Just growth and excellence. And I'm calling them the JGEs. This should be a t-shirt. But I want to unpack each one of these letters. Starting with J, what should we be looking at to celebrate joy? Nikki?
So joy is about what made you feel light and happy. What sparked joy for you? And it can be the smallest of things. And I want you to engage your senses when you think about joy. So sight, sound, touch, smell, taste. Go and look at those pictures on your cell phone, and I promise you, you're going to find lots of things that brought you joy this year. Pull them into your reflections template, and there's no limit to how many you're going to pull in. And it could be small things, like for me, I love gardening. And for me, if there's been rain or heavy dew, seeing those little grey rock roses, those succulents, with that drop of water that looks like a diamond, I find myself always taking photographs of things like that. Or maybe you've got a new relationship that's brought you joy. What about if you've got the arrival of a grandchild? You know, when you look on Facebook, anybody who's become a grandparent talks about the joy of being a grandparent. I did a wilderness walk. That brought joy for me. So what is it that sparked joy for you? This is a feeling, so engage with your feelings.
Engaging with feeling. I'm loving this. Let's go to our next letter, which is G, and that is growth. Now, how does one examine our own growth? It sounds a bit of a challenge.
Well, self-reflection is what all really successful people are good at. They do it every day, they do it every week, and obviously this particular Reflections of 2021 is an annual thing that we're doing. So when we examine our growth, we need to ask ourselves, how have we grown and changed in the past year? Find pictures that express this growth that you've experienced. It might not be stuff that you can measure empirically, which is another reason for using pictures to describe your year. And I tend to find that joy and growth, in fact, growth is the biggest part of my personal PowerPoint presentation. And if you think about it, any new skills that you've acquired. Now, last year, I acquired a lot of virtual presenting skills. This year, I've actually acquired a lot of nursing skills because I've been nursing people through COVID. Who knew that I would put this into growth? Okay. Patience and gratitude. Perhaps you've kickstarted a new business or maybe a new product line. Maybe you have done some new training at work that's upskilled you. And what about a fitness goal? You know, some people have a fitness goal for the year. They wanted to, do a 10-kilometer run or a marathon maybe. And also discovering your strengths. And this is something I've been doing with a lot of teams and businesses this year, helping them to discover the strengths and the gifts that they actually bring to the team that they belong to. And then the last thing I would say is look at real relationships with yourself, as well as any relationships maybe you've mended or expanded that have healed or have blossomed during this year. And it brings you that feeling of satisfaction. You know, success is important, but success without a feeling of satisfaction is empty.
I love that concept so much. We've done J, we've done G, Nikki. Let's go over to something that I think is a bit more difficult, in my opinion. Given the fact that social media has created a lot of false benchmarking in terms of what excellence is, how do we recognize excellence within ourselves?
So, Carl, excellence is going to be the tiniest section of your reflections template, because excellence has got to be better than good. And so it's got to be a goal that you've really worked hard at. Maybe you've been acknowledged for something exceptional. I have a friend who's in her 70s who looks after the environment. She's a speaker on environmental issues. And my goodness, in her 70s, she is getting awarded from places around the world. Now, that's excellence. For me, excellence this year is going to be the publication of my new book, Future Proof Yourself. And we're likely to only have maybe 1, 2, or 3 things under excellence. So don't get worried that you don't have a lot. So what is better than good in your world?
So what is better than good? I think you are better than good, Nikki Bush, just to let you know. But I think the last little bit is you're giving us a proposal of quite a visual reflection experience here, a visual reflection exercise. So the question from my side is that why is this so important to actually see these things? What does it do for somebody?
I think when you see something, it creates a visceral reaction in you. It creates an emotional connection to where you've been and what you've done. And when you look at your life through the lenses of joy, growth, and excellence, well, I wish for every viewer a sense of satisfaction, of a life well lived in the past year, a renewed sense of purpose, an acknowledgement of your progress and your growth, and a sense of, look how far I've come, or look how far we've come. I can do this. I've got this, and the hard work and the effort and the commitment really was worth it for that sense of satisfaction.
I feel that sense right now after that conversation. I'm really inspired, and I think it's so important to take stock and reflect on this year, mobilizing for 2022, and you've done that for us here on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Thank you so much, Nikki Bush. Have the most incredible day, and we cannot wait to read your book.
Thank you, Carl. Lovely to be with you.
Nikki Bush, our human potential and parenting expert. Make sure to get hold of that resource on our website. It's on the screen right now. And remember, reflection is okay. It's just going to mobilize you and get you ready for an epic 2022.
Thank you so much, guys. Really, Nikki Bush is a resource you need to lean on. Go and check out those resources. They are there to aid your life, just like you are there to aid our lives by helping us choose what to wear every morning, and you have impeccable style. So earlier, Ryle asked you guys at home to help him choose between 2 short-sleeve shirts from Woolies. Perfect for that summer look. Let's have a look at some of the comments that came through. Ursula Cupido saying, let's go pink today. Love that. Pearl saying, dusty pink. Love that shirt. Gail Hansen, Ryle, you would look cute in the pink shirt. I agree. Colleen Janssen saying, dusty pink shirt. I think I'm spotting a trend here. Come in, Mr. De Mornay. Hey, why are you looking so sheepish, boy? I see you've gone for a bit of a roll-up.
Yeah.
I mean...
I'm feeling like the weather's good, the show's got some good vibes. I'm feeling like that comfort appeal is really going to go with me. So I thought I'd just change the shoes while I'm at it.
And it's quite a confidence game, wearing shoes like that, hey?
I think so.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Like, I don't really care. I'm confident. I know what I'm about.
I love my ankles. I'm ready to roll. No, I love it. I mean, this is about stumble, but it's also quite chic. You're dressing it up a little.
Yeah, definitely.
So here's the big thing. Look, I love the olive green. It's pretty cool, and I think it'll go lovely with your skin tone. However, the people have spoken, and they have chosen the dusty pink, which I think is also beautiful.
I was eyeing this out. Like I said, the weather, the way I feel today, this light feeling with the dusty pink, the fact that it's slim fit as well, I think this is going to be the perfect combo.
The shoes changed you, man. They changed you. Now, I think that's beautiful. And I think the pink, and because it's kind of like a slightly offset pink, like a dirty, dusty pink. I love that with the white. I think that's going to be a perfect kind of tonal match. If
it's going to go well with my yacht.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's off to the Maldives. Thanks to you. Thank you so much for voting. We really appreciate your input. And once again, yes, you have impeccable style. Well, it is almost Black Friday, guys, but you don't have to wait any longer. You can get up to 30% off on selected men's fashion and footwear if you shop between now and the 29th of this month, and you can get this deal and a whole lot more at Woolies, of course, in-store, online, or using their amazing app, and you can find all the terms and conditions on woolworths.co.za.
Thank you.
Nice, man.
A promise to the planet to tread lightly, to act with care, to think of the future, to appreciate nature, to shop more sustainably. Woolworths, the difference.
Oh, you can make my day.
This Black Friday, Telkom is dropping prices and adding phones plus data. Get a Huawei Nova Y60 plus a Huawei P Smart on Freeme 1.5 gig for the reduced price of just $479 per month, with 150 gigs free data and 2,400 all-network minutes. So don't miss out on this incredible one-time only Black Friday deal. Call 10213, click telkom.co.za or go to any Telkom shop.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
I'm so glad you stayed right there because you were going to miss this amazing artist, but it's fine. You don't have to miss them anymore. Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso. You're live in S3. And the custodians of traditional music, especially in Africa, are doing important work to continue the sounds of our continental ancestors. One such musician who is promoted by former President Nelson Mandela as an ambassador of the South African music beautiful era is neo-traditional music artist Dizo Plaatjies. Let's hear a taste of his song Inkomo before we get to know him. You'll find that man hasn't aged a day. I don't know what treatment he's using on the skin, but it's looking so good. Dizo is joining us ahead of the second Constellations Theatrical Campfire Gathering event. So let's give a massive Expresso welcome, Dizo Plaatjies! Dizo! Yes! It's so great to have you on our couch.
Thank you so much, Carl.
You're an absolute legend. The reason why I say that is not just because you've been around for ages, but the thing is, I love the fact that they are ambassadors of traditional music.
Yes, sir.
The original language of stories.
Yes.
And you are continuing that. Exactly. You haven't tempted yourself with TikTok,
no.
Which is fine.
Yes.
You know, so Dizo, Amapondo,
yes.
That's a group that you created.
Exactly.
And it's a group that was back in the 70s. Mm-hmm. Percussion was the center of it. It really set your career off because I believe that it's even part of Nelson Mandela's 70th birthday tribute in Wembley Stadium back in 1988.
Yes.
So you've been around for so long. Amapondo, just to reflect back, a throwback. How has that affected your career and the success of that group?
To be honest and fair, I would be nothing without, even if I never created Amapondo, I don't know where my life was going to be and so on. And I'm so happy that, you know, I'm a musician and a historian and a custodian of keeping the traditional music alive. And it makes me feel good because at least younger generation will be able to learn and look back to what things that I've done and so on. Yeah. Because other people, they've set up a pace. Now I'm trying to set up the pace of of the 21st century, so that the people coming after me, the other generation, they must know that the traditional music is a music to be preserved.
Absolutely, I agree with you because listening to music is like a museum. You know, a museum collects certain things.
Exactly.
But music it's like a live museum.
Yes.
And you get to feel the stories all the way through. Is that what neo-traditional music is about? Because I know that you've traveled the world and you've done, I mean, 2 samas. I mean, your career spans out. But neo-traditional music, for somebody who doesn't understand what that actually is, what is it?
A neo-tradition, because of now we are living in the modern cities and so on, but right deep in the rural areas, right in the Pundus, well, the traditional music, because there's nothing that is mixed with anything, it's just pure as it is. But now the minute you start hearing different music, seeing a lot of different people playing different music, so your music automatically changed, even though you are using a traditional instrument, because now you won't be playing exactly that raw and undiluted traditional music that you grew up with in the rural areas. So now, moving from the cities, you sort of change so that you can accommodate the city life and the city people. So that is why now the neo-tradition, it becomes a neo-tradition. But the people right down there in the Bundus, they've never mixed, they've never had any radios whatsoever. So they're playing raw and undiluted traditional music.
And that's so important because that means that there are no stories that are raw and diluted.
Exactly.
You get the truth of history.
Beautiful.
The truth of the ancestors, which is so important. And I think that's the beautiful thing about this neo-traditional music, is that you get to tell the raw story.
Exactly.
Nothing has changed it, which is so great. And now you made it your mission to impart the knowledge of the generations to the younger generation.
Yes.
And you've done it through, I mean, I'm sure you're teaching and you're continuing this beautiful narrative over here. But now we have an event coming up.
Yes.
And I think that's the second Constellations gathering, and it's Campfire.
Yes.
Why is this event so special to you at Speed?
It's so special. You know, I've not bred Bailey for many, many years. I've worked with him, you know, but this is the first time that I'm doing his production, you know. And what I like about the place, you are yourself with a crowd of maybe 10, 12 people sitting around the fire.
Wow.
And then what is nice is that the music is raw. There's no microphone. You hear the pure sound, the water flows, you know, all the birds and so on. It's such a beautiful place and this beautiful setting where it is going to be. Because sometimes we normally go and see people in the theaters and so on. What about we see people around the campfire? You know, like in the olden days, where you will tell stories and so on. Because people, they need that. We cannot always go with the do all the time. We need to calm down, man. It's too much.
We have to, I agree with you.
It's too much, my bro. There are old people that we need also to play the music for them because their ears, they cannot capture and listen to all good. No. Sometimes you need to calm down.
I love that, Dizu. The thing is, it's the purity, and I think that's why it's so special. So we're looking forward to seeing your performances on your Feel Good Breakfast show today with traditional instruments that you brought along. You're going to love these. It's a unique sound, and it's not going to be the doof, move the coffee table stuff. He's not going to doof you, but you will feel the doof of history and the ancestors and the traditional music that you'll hear on your Feel Good Breakfast show today. And the thing is, if you want to go see the event, it's it's a Constellations gathering. It's a campfire event, Speed Wine Farm. Get tickets at webtickets.co.za and support this man, Dizu Plaatjes, as you will on Expresso.
Well, it is Travel Tuesday, and one thing we love to do is, through amazing coffee, be able to experience incredible places. Now, the Amazon rainforest is a big contributor to life on Earth, and it is home to some of the most incredible animals on the planet. Its fertile soil is also amazing and for growing coffee of the highest quality. That's one of the places I still want to go visit.
Definitely, it's something on my bucket list, especially nature boy at heart. But now, over the past 20 years, Expresso has been implementing methods to protect as well as nurture the soils of coffee farms and the forests that surround, ensuring that coffee is produced with harmony within nature. How cool does that sound, right?
That sounds amazing. In fact, the company recently announced their commitment to protecting 10 million trees in the Amazon forest in La Pedrera, Colombia, as well as supporting the communities that call the forest home.
I absolutely love it. I love the fact that it's not just about creating coffee, but it's also the impact it has on the environment and its surroundings. And that's why I love the fact that they're doing such communal work. And we're going to celebrate that, of course. And we're celebrating these efforts and drawing attention to the plight of the Amazon. And they have launched their limited editions Forest Variations line of original coffees, each representing a part of the rainforest. I think it's such an incredible concept. I think it's something we have to taste. Is the machine
Of course, it's on.
Yes, it is.
Which one would you like? Would you like
let's go for an espresso, eh?
Espresso, there we go.
Espresso and espresso. Come on, how else can we do it?
So today we are going to be tasting the forest fruit coffee made from a fruity blend of Brazilian and Colombian Arabicas that celebrates the aromas of berries straight off the forest floor. That sounds amazing.
The words just roll off the tongue like poetry. How can you not want to try that?
And you can picture like all the berries that's fallen from the trees and on the floor.
I'm like chilling under those trees in a hammock right now, just thinking like I've got my cup, the berries are falling there, I'm getting this roasty feel. I'm sure you can get that from the taste too. I don't know. I need to find out, but I can't because I got to offer you one first. Let me make one for myself too. There you go. Let me grab another one over here. And voila.
Oh, I love the smell. You get like a nice little... You actually get that fruitiness coming through.
Yeah. A little bit of the citrus berry maybe.
This is a beautiful coffee on its own. I'm one of those people that usually add a little bit of milk to my coffee. Yeah. But this is an excellent coffee
Almost
to enjoy
don't need to, right? For me, what's crazy is, and the fact that I love, you're still getting a nice crema on this. I mean, look at that. A nice, crispy, nice velvety crema. Crispy indeed. It's reminding me of that forest floor.
Oh, well, listen, it's got a mild body. There's a slight bitterness to it. The roasting and acidity is spot on. This is a good one.
Cheers to that, eh?
I'm not cheersing, I'm enjoying.
Look, it's Brazilian beans, like Zoe said, it's lightly roasted. It brings out the smooth and malted cereal notes. I call it crispy, but it's definitely more malted than anything else. And while Colombian beans get a shorter roast, they also preserve the finer aromatics that we're getting in right now. And like you said, you don't need that much sweetness in it. I'm getting a little bit of that citrus and berry feel from it. Morning is set. Travel Tuesday. There you go. Cheers.
Filled with delight, blooming with flavor and warmth. This festive season, select the perfect gifts for you and your loved ones. Gifts of the forest. Nespresso, what else?
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It is your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. I'm glad you stayed because we're about to get entrenched in something so beautiful in neo-traditional music, and we're in for a real cultural experience today on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Now, we're joined by neo-traditional music artist Dizo Plaatjes, who is an expert in African percussion instruments. He is performing a few pieces for us in a style traditional to the ancient San population, something he has been working on reviving for the past 2 years. Here he is, performing a piece with the mouth bow on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. Can I tell you that the studio right now, there's this feeling, a traditional music feeling, there's a spirit, and I think that's exactly what neo-traditional music brings, and you can go check it out. I think it's something not to be missed. At Speed Wine Farm, if you're in Stellenbosch, Cape Town, go check it out. The Second Constellations Campfire Gatherings events. They're from 25 November to 18 December. Storytellers and incredible people like Dizu Plaikis will be there to perform. And yes, there'll be stories, but no doof-doof. As he says, no doof-doof. Just that beautiful music that you heard right now. And I think it's so steeped in history in the San population. So make sure that you stay around, because I can tell you there are more performances coming up that are going to just really lift you and touch you on an inner center, which is so important here. So Dizu, thank you so much for that beautiful piece over there. And of course, more to come on your Feel Good Breakfast Show. As mentioned, no doof-doof, just neo-traditional music. Just feel it. Here's news.
We don't need that doof-doof, but we definitely do need some news right now. It's a little bit early, but of course we don't disappoint. And to start off with the national news fronts, the SA Health Products Regulatory Authority, SAHPRA, says it will commence with the assessment of data for the safety and efficacy of a third dose of a Pfizer booster shot. Now, this comes as the US Food and Drug Administration on Friday backed the emergency authorizations for booster shots of a Pfizer and Moderna COVID-19 vaccine. Now, SAHPRA said results from Pfizer's Phase 3 clinical trials with more than 10,000 participants found that the third dose was safe and effective. Now, moving over to Gauteng, where Police Commissioner Elias Mawela has congratulated a task force after they raided an alleged kidnapping syndicate in the province. Now, 6 men were arrested in connection with hijacking and kidnappings in Hillbrow, Johannesburg last week. And a 47-year-old man who was allegedly abducted was rescued earlier yesterday morning at a house in Crystal Park in Ukuruleni. Now, Gauteng police spokesperson Dimakatso Selo says one of the suspects is believed to be the mastermind behind several kidnappings. Now, he's currently out on bail for 3 other incidents of hijacking, kidnapping, as well as extortion. And now taking things to the international fronts and looking to Austria, where they have become the first country in Western Europe to reintroduce a total lockdown since it began COVID-19 vaccinations. Now, all non-essential stores, pubs and cafes are closed due to increasing cases. And Austria's Chancellor Alexander Schallenberg said he was sorry that Austria had to make COVID-19 vaccinations a legal requirement, but the current low take-up rate was, and I quote, too little, too late. Now, he said nobody wishes the situation where you don't get access to an intensive care unit bed because the beds are filled with sick, unvaccinated people. Now, gender activists have commended Mauritian President Prithviraj Rupun for appointing Rihanna Bibi Chief Justice, a first for a woman to hold that position on the island. Now, she becomes the second woman this year to head an African country's justice system. And in May, President Uhuru Kenyatta appointed Judge Martha Koome as Kenya's first female Chief Justice. Now, Mauritius is the 4th best country in terms of gender equality in sub-Saharan Africa, behind South Africa, Rwanda, as well as Namibia. And according to figures, this is from the latest in the African Development Bank. And next up, tributes keep pouring in for popular Afrikaans singer. Now, tributes continue to pour in following the death last week of popular Afrikaans singer Tinus Jordan, and he was 50 years old. The singer and songwriter Tinus Jordan's ultimately an untimely death has shaken the country, especially the Afrikaans community. Now, social media is flooded with heartfelt tributes, and he was diagnosed with leukemia last year. Our fellow singer Joanita Du Plessis said he was and quote, phenomenal monument for Afrikaans music. A good friend, Elisa Theron, also said it was on stage where he was at his happiest. Now, she said he fought the disease outside the limelight, but that the light would always shine on his legacy. Now, Leonie May wrote on Facebook and quoted, "You leave a void that can never be filled. We will miss you, my friend. You are one of a kind, and thank you." Radio personality Barney Simon and singer Steve Hofmeyer were also among those who paid tribute to Jordan on social media, referring to him as, and quote, special. And then the singer Bach van Black also said, and quoted, "A huge oak has fallen. My words are few. My heart is broken. Rest in peace, Tinus." Well, on that note, I leave you with the rest of the headlines. And coming up right now is the sport. And here's G on the lowdown for all of that.
Thank you so much. Well, let's start with football news from afar. England's manager Gareth Southgate has now signed a new contract to keep him in the role up until December of 2024. So Southgate has been manager of the national side since November of 2016, and his previous contract was set to run out after the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. He led England to the final of Euros 2020, which was their best men's performance in 55 years. The 51-year-old led them to the World Cup semi-finals for the first time in 28 years. And that was in 2018, and also finished third in the UEFA Nations League. England have won 44 of their 68 matches under his stewardship. And staying with footballing news, Barcelona's midfielder Pedri has won the 2021 Golden Boy Award for the best under-21 player playing in a European country's top division. So the 18-year-old beat England and Borussia Dortmund midfielder Jude Bellingham to the award by a record 199 points. Pedri played more minutes than any other Barca player last season, going on to play at Euros 2020 and then win the Olympic silver with Spain. Dortmund forward Erling Haaland won the award back in 2020. Now on to tennis. Italy's Jannik Sinner climbed into the world top 10 of the ATP rankings. That was after the ATP finals. Sinner was knocked out in the pool phase of the end-of-season tournament, but climbs above Canadian player Felix Auger-Aliassime, who drops now down to 11th. Then Alex Zverev, who won the title on Sunday, remains in third, while the legend Novak Djokovic was already assured of ending the year as number 1. Then Garbine Muguruza jumped 2 places to number 3 in the WTA rankings. It was after her victory in the season-ending WTA finals. And then Ashley Barty remains firmly atop the rankings, followed by Arina Sabalenka. Then finally on to cricket. Really have been treated to a feast of the shorter format. And Pakistan completed a 3-0 T20 series whitewash against Bangladesh. That was with another emphatic 5-wicket win in that final match. The Tigers won the toss and they chose to bat first. 2 wickets each from Mohammad Wazim and Usman Khadir saw Pakistan restrict the hosts to only 124 for 7. And in response, Haider Ali top scored with 45, while there was a little bit of late drama with Muhammadullah Ahmed taking 3 wickets in that final over and almost snatching the win for the team. But Pakistan, though, they held their nerve and won that final match off the final delivery to boot. And the win means that they have won more T20 matches than any other country in 2021. And if you missed any of those details, we'll touch on them again in an hour or so. Right now, though, let's get a global weather perspective and some of those temperatures here in SA.
Thanks, G. And we have more news concerning the flash floods yesterday in George and neighbouring towns. The humanitarian organisation Gift of the Givers said it was preparing a major intervention along the Garden Route, where areas have been affected by heavy rains and flooding. Director Imtiaz Suleiman said George, Oudtshoorn, Mossel Bay, Bateau, Kanaland, Hasika, as well as Knysna would receive assistance. Trucks carrying maize, food parcels, mattresses, hygiene packs, new clothing, blankets, diapers, bottled water, plastic sheeting and pet food will be arriving from Kimberley, Gqeberha and Graafrenet and Cape Town. Suleiman said SAPS has partnered with them, and the SAPS Eden cluster base at Heatherlands would be utilised as Gift of the Givers logistics centre. SAPS will also escort them into the affected areas. In addition, helicopters and aquatic teams, as well as the NSRI, are on standby. Meanwhile, more extreme weather for parts of the Western Cape is forecast. Gift of the Givers, thank you so much for the incredible work that you've been doing during these difficult times and situations. We salute all of you and thank you for reaching out to help those areas and people in need, especially at this time. We now move from our weather news to some sunrise views that were shared by our Expresso sunrise photographers. Jason Sebastian from Delport's Whip in the Northern Cape shared this silhouetted image showing off the warm hues cast across the sky. Razeen Pandi from Gqeberha captured this breathtaking image of the sun coming up over the ocean, just managing to cast a beautiful glow across the area as it breaks through the cloud cover. Absolutely beautiful. Thank you for those images. If you would love to share a sunrise photo, please do so on the Expresso Facebook page. But let's look at your weather. If you're in Polokwane, some thunder showers can be expected with a low of 14, a high of 25. Mpumbela 16, reaching a high of 27. Partly cloudy in Pretoria, 14 is your low, 27 your high. Johannesburg 13, reaching a high of 25. Mahikeng 14, 29. Klerksdorp 12, reaching a high of 28. Kimberley 11 with a high of 25. Thunder showers in Bloemfontein, a low of 8, a high of 22. Some thunder showers in Richards Bay today, reaching a high of 24. Heavy rain can be expected in Pietermaritzburg. 11 is your low, 20 your high. Durban 16, reaching a high of 24. Mthatha 18 with a high of 18. If you're in East London, 14 is your low, 20 your high. Rain can be expected in Cradock, a low of 7, a high of 19. Some thunder showers in Gqeberha with a high of 24 today. Rain in George, a low of 13, a high of 19. Cape Town, partly cloudy, reaching a high of 22. If you're in Worcester, 11 is your low, 24 your high. Sutherland, 7, reaching a high of 21, and Uppington. A sunny day ahead with a low of 17 and a high of 31 degrees Celsius. Well, that's where I leave your weather for now. A final update coming your way shortly after 8.
You know, I'm so glad that he picked this shirt. Look how amazing the skin. I like it. I think this is great.
It feels good, eh?
It does. And, I mean, it looks good as well.
Still waiting for that yacht, though.
No, it's fine. It's on its way. But another thing that's on its way is an opportunity to give you something. And those are beautiful words. And this time we've got a word for you in Ndebele. So stick around for that.
Yeah, and also the festive cheers here with G. Of course, we're celebrating everything that's coming up this season. And G's going to show us how with these 4 furry-legged ball creatures that we're about to check in just a bit. Don't go anyway.
Don't.
Never think 100 Rand is just a clipper. It's a fresh fade or prepaid electricity. It also gets you a gold credit card from only 40 Rand per month, and you still get change. So, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously? Get a Nedbank Gold credit card that helps you afford more.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. It is your feel-good breakfast show. Now, when it comes to the festive season, I'm super duper excited. But in our beautiful country, reindeers, snow, and abundance of presents under a tree have very little relevance to our environment. And that's where we cue Cadbury Dairy Milk, who wants to use us to gift our words to help co-author festive children's stories that rather showcase a truly South African season.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. Now we do need to South Africanize the festive season a lot more, and this is the perfect way. So to be part of the change, we're giving you a word to translate this morning, and the word is simple. It's a place where we go because we have summer during the festive outside. And outside in Ndebele is ngaphandle.
Ngaphandle.
Yeah, ngaphandle. That's all. And the thing is, it's a beautiful word. I want you to use it in a sentence if you want to. Like today, I want to go ngaphandle. It's one of those things, but I think it's beautiful that words are a bridge to every other person's culture. I think you touch a soul when you actually speak to somebody in their language, and I love that about it. So gift your words this festive season, and I'll co-author a festive themed story to be added to the Cadbury Dairy Milk in Our Own Words library, so all our children can enjoy stories of the most wonderful season.
That's right. So you can visit cadbury.co.za and you can follow them on social media. They're at Cadbury Dairy Milk SA on Facebook or at Cadbury_SA on Twitter and Instagram. And that is to help start translating your words today. And talking about outside, let's see what Graham got up to this past weekend.
Yes, indeed. We want to spread the love, my friend. That's what this shirt is all about. It's just saying love to the world. Spread that festive cheer this year by giving back to the four-legged friends who need it the most. Let's be honest, you don't need another pair of socks, so why not make a gift giving count for our little four-legged friends, our furry friends.
Indeed. Now take a look at how G, the man over here, had a recent visit to dog with the crazy store to do just that. Let's check this out.
Giving back over the festive season is always a positive and a rewarding experience. And while I know there are so many organizations across the world that deserve our love and support, this time of the year can be a great time for you to connect with your own community, bring it close to home. And that's what we are doing today. We are here at DOG, and hopefully they know how much I appreciate the work that they do, not just with our four-legged friends, but of course with the community that they serve. Giving back can be done through donations or just by giving your time. But the more the merrier today. Looking behind me, it looks like the Crazy Store have gone doggone crazy. Oh, Faustina, so good to see you again. I think you know that this is one of my favorite places to come and visit, mainly because you have little guys like this. Who have you got in your arms? He looks like a little champion.
This is little Pebbles.
Feeling he's going to get adopted very, very quickly. Faustina, I know that there is always a need. You guys are always pushing so hard for anything that you can get. How important is it to get donations at this time of the year, around the festive season specifically?
It is incredibly important. We do see an increase in dogs and cats coming in over the festive season. And then also, of course, we see sort of our donations dwindling. We really, really need the help.
I'm so lucky to be fully educated, to be fully aware of what goes on behind the scenes. When you see an organization like DOG, it's not just that they're looking after and rehabilitating animals and helping to rehome them, but they are a connection to an entire community. So when you support an organization like this, it's not just the animals that you're helping that entire community, your community essentially. I know it seems like you have made it incredibly easy to receive goods. How easy is it for someone to make a donation?
I think it's really easy. Our gates are still closed, but our security guy at the gate is always there to let people in to donate. And it's not difficult to look around in your house, see if you have some second-hand goods to donate to our shop. Every single thing helps us.
So then looking at this amazing haul courtesy of the Crazy Store, and I know you guys have built a wonderful relationship that really does work both ways. How does it make you feel to receive this right now? What are you feeling?
Well, I think Christmas has come early for us. Hey Pebbles, did you see everything? You know, it just makes us feel so incredibly grateful. I mean, to think that they've taken the time to look at exactly what we need, to reach out, and we just need to know that people care. They care about our animals, they care about keeping DOG going, keeping our gates open. So yeah, just immense gratitude. Christmas come early for us.
Here we go, hello Pebbles. Good puppies. Hi guys. Gonna come do a little spring cleaning. You're gonna help me out.
I'm in danger of leaving with the dog.
any organization that is working in this non-profit space obviously relies on support, donation, sponsorship, and that runs out. It's finite. They really need help at any time during the year, but it's so compounded, that pressure over the festive season. I love being able to engage with the dogs, with the cats, and to see their operation in full swing. I mean, they're looking after over 100 dogs, and I would suggest to anyone that's wanting to do something special for themselves, for their family, especially if they have kids over this festive season, come and spend some time at a dog, at an organization like this. It is so rewarding. Obviously, while the dogs are really well taken care of, the cats have just as much fun in store as well. There are some amazing creative toys to stimulate your little ones. Here's a hot water bottle, guys, for when it gets cold, because I know we need our cuddles. Just to liven things up, a nice little treat for cats, a bit of catnip. But I think these two are lively enough. I don't think they need it. Oh, that's nice. Hey. As you can see, the Best Buds goes down an absolute hit with Harley. Best Buds is formulated by one of the best pet nutritionists in the country, produced by Montego, and they've got an incredible brand history and quality as well. I love the fact that it's suitable for all breeds of adult dog as well, so you can imagine how much getting a mass load of this helps them out here at dog. Great value, great quality, really is a brilliant product. What do you think, Harley? Hey? Oh, man. Spending time with an animal that is this energetic and beautiful and lovely and loving and friendly just makes me amazed that all of these animals don't have their forever home yet. But the team here at Dog take it as far as they can, creating a beautiful environment for them. And of course, with support from the likes of Crazy Store, they are doing an amazing job. All they need is a little bit of help from you and me.
Oh, what a beautiful pup. So much energy, man.
Why does my heart feel like it's going to break to pieces every time I see
Do you know how
this?
tough it was to know? Because I think one of Honey, the cat that I adopted,
Yes,
one of her
yeah,
siblings,
yeah.
was still there. And I was like, oh, no one gets left behind.
How did you not sleep in the car?
It was very, very, very difficult. But what I love Dog and what they're doing, and a lot of respect for Tears as well. They work so closely with their community. And they're obviously looking after hundreds of amazing dogs. So please go and ultimately adopt. But if you can, spend a little time, give back to our four-legged friends, man. It means so much to them.
Come in with a little, leave with a lot. The Crazy Store has a whole range of stuff bound to surprise and delight the whole family.
Only you can make my day. It's my feel-good breakfast show.
welcome back. You are live with Expresso on a beautiful Tuesday morning with a bit of a sporty flair this morning. So let's continue on that tip. So if you watch anything from rugby to even gymnastics, you'll have noticed athletes' bodies sporting an amazing variety of multicolored lines of tape.
I've always been so fascinated with this. They may look like go faster stripes or some new fashion, but there is serious medical science behind them, and here is how it works.
Let's be honest, in this country, rugby is a part of our DNA. It's one of the most popular sports in the country, and with good reason. It also comes with a lot of injuries, some little niggles, some quite traumatic. Well, today, I am so proud to be back at Newlands Rugby Stadium. It's being manicured ahead of the next Currie Cup season. But I'm here to meet with Wayne Hector, who is the Western Province physiotherapist, who knows firsthand how to deal with injuries across the entire scale, especially using taping. Now, with so many legends having graced these hallowed halls, I'm just going to take a moment to soak it all up. Wayne, good to see you in this unbelievably awesome environment. It gives me a buzz whenever I'm here. Wayne, I know you have treated many men and women in your career, but what are some of the more common injuries that you come across in your code?
Look, I'm primarily involved in rugby, so it's a full body sport, you know. The most common injuries are probably lower limb injuries, ankles being the biggest one, but knees take a pounding, shoulders take a pounding, necks, lower backs, so it's across the board.
So what then is your first response? What are the best ways to treat these injuries?
Well, I mean, obviously in the acute phase, you follow the RICE principles, so rest, ice, compression, elevation. Make sure that you diagnose accurately, because the biggest mistake some people make is, you know, they try and treat something and they don't know what it is that they're treating.
So as I understand it, taping can be used to gently correct posture. It also comes in really handy with helping with issues of fatigue and preventing overextension or contraction, and is obviously great in preventing injuries. But how specifically can it be used in addressing sports injuries?
The biggest thing with taping is that the effect is immediate. The other big advantage of taping as compared to bracing, for example, is taping is very adjustable, so you can adapt to that specific person's body part or their anatomy or their injured structure.
Now, I know there is some commonality in terms of how you treat injuries across all sporting codes. What are some of the other sports that result in these kinds of injuries?
Look, I think in professional sport, I can't think of a sport that doesn't use taping, simply because everyone's looking for that little 1% that's going to give them the advantage of their opposition. I'm not saying that taping is the be-all and end-all, but every little 1% certainly helps on the field.
Would taping work and help? In my case, the weekend warrior at my age, you can get injured quite easily. Where else is taping applicable?
Yeah, look, I mean, from your weekend warrior, the guy that goes mountain biking every Sunday morning with some mates, to the person that's doing these body fit classes 2 evenings a week, everyone can benefit from taping if there's a structure that needs to be unloaded or muscle that needs to be facilitated.
It's quite bizarre to me. The penny really dropped today. I've obviously noticed rugby players adorning themselves with tape everywhere, but I haven't really thought about how it protects joints and muscles and tendons to prevent injury happening. So I didn't realize to what extent taping has played a role in rugby, to be honest. I've noticed there is quite an extensive range of varying tapes. Which are you using specifically for this exercise and why?
So this is called leukocae, and it's used to unload the fascial space. So that layer or that space between your muscle and the skin. By unloading that fascial space, you improve muscle function. It helps with drainage. So what we're wanting to do is apply the longer strips of the leukocae around the gastrocnemius muscle. We don't apply it under too much tension, because I'm keeping his foot in dorsiflexion, in other words, toes pointed up. and then just laying it down on the skin, kind of surrounding that gastrocnemius muscle. And then the second strip that we're going to apply more across the Achilles tendon, and that we're going to apply under tension. So the first third of it, I pull full tension out of the tape. So in other words, until there's no stretch left. And then rub that down. Second third is 50% tension. Again, rubbing that down. And then the last little bit, we're just laying on the skin.
Okay.
And then give it a good rub down just to activate the glue properly. And he's good to go.
I know you make it look incredibly easy, a very practiced hand. Is this something that I can learn to do myself, or would you recommend that you have to have a pro physio do it for you?
So I would recommend that it's applied by someone that's been trained in application of K-tape. Having said that, if you have a good relationship with your physio and you're going to need to repeatedly strap that knee or that calf or whatever the area is, the physio can certainly teach you how to do it yourself. Okay. But I wouldn't try and do it myself off the bat, because there is very specific techniques that need to be used.
If you're not asleep yet, I suppose I've got to ask first up, how does it feel?
It hasn't even been on for that long. I can already feel the tension in my calf. It's like slowly going away.
I know you guys are unrelenting in your training, and obviously you play a lot of rugby. How scary is an injury, and how often do you get injured?
So I'm lucky enough to not have been injured that many times. But when I do, what you want to do is you want to immediately take care of that. You want to do your rehab. You want to do your pre-ab, your stretches in the morning, and then you also want to get a strap before training, just to prevent anything worse happening to that injury.
Being able to plug into Wayne's expertise and his incredible knowledge and experience, obviously working in this space, has been wonderful. And I've picked up a few gems. First of all, it's worth building a relationship with your physio and learning how to do this yourself. Learn how to apply the tape properly so that you're getting the most out of a product that really does work. What I didn't realize is how the tape is so effective in preemptive, and the fact that you can use the taping to take the strain off an injury to the degree that you can actually get players out there trained. It's the glue, excuse the pun, that binds sports recovery or injury recovery. It really is a vital, vital tool. Beautiful, safe as houses. Maybe not in my day, but absolutely loved being back in Newlands, and I've loved getting the education I have today. I think there is sports management and injury management for every sportsman or woman out there. It's about finding the right technique and the right tape for you, and Luco Sport has it all. I missed the kick horribly. I was miles off, man. But what a pleasure being back in Newlands Stadium. I've had so many magical moments there throughout my career as a broadcaster. Just so cool to be back in there.
Oh, well, that is amazing. Well, after watching that, we have 2 lucky winners that stand a chance to win a hamper to the value of 600 Rand each.
Nice.
Simply head on over to their Facebook or Instagram page, like, follow, and comment on the competition post by sharing your favorite Leukotape K color.
And there are some pretty spanky colours there. We love it. Leukotape K colour. And remember to include that hashtag strapping for champions. And this week's competition closes at 9 a.m. on Friday. But you can, as always, get all the terms and conditions on the linked to the competition post. So go and check them out. But just get on it, especially if you're a weekend warrior like me. This stuff is so useful.
Yes, Mzansi, welcome to it, of course, with Tuesday being the day that we get to choose to spend with you. We thought we'd choose to give you a lekker workout as well, right? So your chest muscles, something's quite important. They are some of the most powerful muscles in your upper body, and they play a key role in when it comes to pushing and all the other movements involved in sport too. Now, these muscles are significant when it comes to controlling your arm movements too. And here to take us through some of the best chest workouts and something you can do at home right now, Mzansi, stand up, because fitness trainer Masi Matodlana is in the building.
Yeah. Good morning, Mzansi.
Welcome back, brother. How you doing?
I'm all good.
It's
Just
good to
getting
have you
there
here.
after
We
a
did
long
some
weekend.
home cardio with you. We did some agility drills with you.
Yeah.
Always spicing it up and something that we can do at home, right? And today
Yes.
is very similar.
Yes, it's
What
more
do you got
similar.
for us?
Okay, so today I got all the variations of chest workouts. Definitely we're gonna start on the floor.
Okay.
And then the last one will be definitely we finish up on the chair.
All right, so you don't need much.
Yes.
You need a chair at the worst or
Yeah.
a bunkie or something. Otherwise, the floor's going to do.
Yes.
Let's get into it,
All
brother.
right. Let's start first with a nice normal standard push-up.
Okay.
So we can be on your toes or you can be on your knees. It's kind of the same thing, you know. Okay, just focus on just one up, one down, one up, one down. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You stay in there.
Follow you.
Toes. Okay. Arm on the knees. Okay, just one down, one up, one down, one up. Make sure that your elbows are also pointing backwards.
Backwards,
Instead of out like that. That's not good. It's just
All right, so if my elbows are kind of flaring out like this when I'm doing the push-up.
it's kind of like you're straining also your shoulders. You know, you
Okay.
don't want to do that. You want to enjoy what you're doing. You know, you gotta take it slowly, no rush. Because I know everyone is trying to rush.
Just do the
ended up hurting
cardio
your
as well.
shoulder.
Okay,
All right.
so it's nice to get that stimulation on the chest.
Okay.
You build that
Now you
mind
want to
muscle.
take it nice and wide. So you just push it outside of your shoulders.
Okay.
Okay, it's the same, still the same movement. One up, one down, one up, one down. Okay.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Now the wide is a little bit harder.
Yes.
Is that supposed to be the case?
Yes. I'm gonna take that challenge.
Oops. Now, Masi, how many reps and sets would you be doing of each of these exercises?
Okay, for each exercise, you should be doing between 10 to 12 repetitions, and you can do 3 sets of each.
3 sets of each 10 to 12
Right.
reps. You heard the man, you can make a full workout out of these exercises. And we're only on step 2 already. We've got 2 more for
So
us.
step
What's the next
3,
one?
we're gonna bring it back in. Kind of like to normal, but now we're focusing on a negative push-up. So that means in your mind, tell yourself that I need to go 3 to 4 seconds down, and you explosive it up. So when you're coming up, it's just boom, up.
I love that. And I love the
Okay.
fact that we're doing it slow because that means we're doing an eccentric load, right? That means we're building the muscle and it really takes a lot more out of us.
Yes, because you keep it under
Quality
tension.
reps. Right, let's
Yes.
try that out. Probably going to
Okay.
shake. I know the shaking is quite a difficult one to kind of interpret, but is it a bad thing to be shaking when you're doing this?
It's not a bad thing because you actually now you're putting some work in. You know, because some people, you just see them doing so much repetitions, but is that a quality of a quantity or what a quality of the exercise?
Okay, so we're
you
going
know?
for quality over
Yes.
here right now. I
There
love
we
it.
go. All right. Nice
So we're
and
pretty
slow.
close now?
Pretty
Yeah?
close.
Okay.
And you're focusing on going slow down.
Slow
Tell
down.
yourself between 3 to 4 seconds and back up.
Explode up. Right, so this has got an athletic edge to it as well, getting an explosive power. But I can definitely feel the burn on this
Yes.
one. The chest is turning into fire. I've got to be honest.
Slow and up.
Wow.
Give me 2 more.
Woo! Woo! We on fire, people.
One more.
Zanzi, if you're joining in right now and your chest is burning, then I salute you. You are with
Well
us
done.
right now. You're doing the right thing. We're working those pecs, people. I'm
right.
feeling that, man. Feeling
Yes.
pumped, eh?
Yeah, I'm getting there. It's nice. even my large looks like a small t-shirt
So
today.
now it comes to the chair, because I'm wondering,
Yes.
what on earth are we going to do with that after doing some push-ups? What's the deal here?
Okay, so the deal now, you're kind of like targeting 2 muscle groups. Even though when you're doing push-ups, you're still targeting your tricep and your chest. But now, this is more mainly like to your pec minor, but Zanzi. It's just your upper chest.
Okay,
Let's get to
nice.
that.
Yeah, for layman's terms.
It's like your upper chest. It's kind of the same movements. You don't want to hop and go all the time. You
Good
wanna
control.
Focus, yes, a good control because you're gonna end up hitting your shoulder. You don't want to hit your shoulder.
Yeah.
You know. Okay. So right there. Okay, kind of like dropping nice and slow down.
Okay, nice and slow. Good control
Can you
from
feel
your
it there?
side.
Just on
Yeah.
your upper chest.
Already feeling it on the chest because we just stimulated it quite a bit, but this has definitely moved higher up on the chest.
Can you feel your arms a little
And
bit more on your
definitely-
arms as well?
Oh, definitely feeling the arms
Yes.
trying to assist me in stabilizing.
Yes.
As well as those triceps just assisting in getting the rest of the body up. Ooh. Oh, the burn is here.
I can feel my arms. Yes, my arms can't take it anymore. It's giving me 2 more.
2 more. Okay. I got you, Masi. Ah, this one's for you.
Last one.
Last one in the building. Yes. Oh,
Yes.
The burn is real.
I can feel it.
Masi, thank you so much for coming through. That was a simple yet very effective chest workout. I can imagine another 2 sets, maybe even 3 sets of that, 10 reps in total, or maybe 12.
12
and you've got yourself a full workout, brother.
There we go.
Exceptional stuff.
Thank you
for the
Mike.
prompt, and
And
thank you for choosing
Mzansi.
us. Enjoy your Mzansi.
Simple as CBD should be.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Thanks for staying with your Feel Good Breakfast Show, Expresso. Now, whilst healthcare and well-being is an all-year conversation, Movember is the dedicated month to elevate and broaden our awareness on all things men's health. And this morning, Dr. Adil Khan, the Senior Medical Officer from Old Mutual, joins us to share and unpack some key insights and stats on men's health from their 2020 claims stats. Dr. Khan, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a big focus at the moment, men's health. Why are we specifically taking this time to shine the spotlight on the conversations around men's health?
It's very important. When we look at our claim stats for the year 2020, we find that 56% of our severe illness claims are paid out to men. And when we take a closer look at what the causes are, we find that they are mostly caused, the vast majority, caused by something that we call the big four, not the big five.
What are the big four?
The big four are heart attacks, strokes, coronary artery bypass grafts, which is a type of heart surgery, as well as cancers. And what this tells us about our men is that many of these illnesses are potentially preventable, or at least can be detected early enough that we can actually do something about.
Well, you have a lot of experience working in that space and really helping men diagnose what these, illnesses are that they may be suffering from. What is the first step a man can take in order to sort of uncover or unpack or see if they may be suffering from any one of these illnesses? Or what does the journey look like once they feel or think that they may be going through something?
Yeah, let's take prostate cancer. Prostate cancer is the most common cancer in men in South Africa. 1 in 18 people will develop it in their lifetime.
Wow.
The sad thing is that through early detection and screening, we can significantly improve the likelihood of detecting it early and improve the likelihood of a full recovery. So when a man reaches a certain age, we have to be on the lookout for prostate cancer.
Yes.
And some men may be aware of some symptoms, and these can include difficulty with urination, leaking of urine, bloody urine. The problem with prostate cancer, though, is that most often, men are not aware they have it until it's too late. This is why screening is critically important. All men over the age of 50 need an annual checkup on their prostate. Some men that have a history of cancer in their family or have very specific health concerns need to have the prostate evaluated before then, though. At the health check, the doctor will assess the prostate by doing an internal examination of the prostate, as well as doing a blood test called a PSA test, which is a prostate-specific antigen test. If there are any abnormalities detected, the doctor will then refer you for more specialized tests, and these can be a prostate biopsy, an ultrasound of the prostate, or even an MRI. If the cancer is then detected, then treatment will commence, and that can consist of chemotherapy, radiotherapy, or even hormonal therapy.
Well, this entire process, Dr. Khan, I mean, it sounds quite intensive.
Yes.
It sounds traumatic, but I think above everything else, it sounds incredibly costly as well. What are the steps that men can follow in order to make sure that they are adequately prepared, for such cover should it be necessary?
Yes, and as we've discussed, a severe illness can actually affect anybody.
Yes.
And more so to our men, and our claim stats reflect that. So it is critically important then that even though we can do these things to be physically active and remain healthy as best we can, life happens. And severe illness, unfortunately, will affect a lot of people, especially our men. And these illnesses come with tremendous impact on our lifestyle and on our ability to cover the costs of healthcare, which is exorbitant in most instances. So this is why it's critically important to have severe illness cover. It provides peace of mind to you and to your family at a time when you are your most vulnerable. And most importantly, it assists with a dignified recovery from an illness.
I really do like the fact that Old Mutual has thought about so many of these areas. For one, you reward us for being financially fit, but I believe that you also have some incredible rewards for encouraging us, or to rather encourage us to be physically fit as well and healthy.
Yeah. As we've discussed, knowing your health status and being physically fit is critically important to detecting severe illnesses early, or in some instances even preventing severe illnesses. This is why, as an Old Mutual Protect policyholder and an Old Mutual Rewards member, you are not only rewarded for being financially fit, but physically fit as well.
I love it.
Reward members can earn up to 250% of their qualifying premiums in bonus points from partaking in qualifying endurance events and by completing our online health assessment.
I love your work. It's rewards, but you're making it fun as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for that. Dr. Khan, you've been fantastic. Thank you so much for really shining the spotlight on some of these big four that men are dealing with on a daily basis. It's encouraging to know that there is help out there. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Well, plan ahead and protect yourself and your family from the unexpected costs in the event of a severe illness. To find out more about Old Mutual's illness insurance, you can speak to your financial advisor. And if you don't have an advisor, then you can call 0860 60 60 60 or visit any of Old Mutual branches across the country. Alternatively, you can go online and visit oldmutual.co.za/illness for more information. There is help out there.
Old Mutual's illness insurance pays out a single amount of up to 6 million rand for whatever you and your family might need while you recover.
Sorry, Mom. We go from men's health to female's health and the importance of nutritious diet. Well, a nutritious diet. Now, ensuring that a pregnant woman's, she gets the proper nutrients, not only for themselves, but also for their unborn babies, is extremely important, especially in the final trimester. So we've got a recipe for you, a spinach, bacon, and gnocchi salad, which will not only be filling for two, but it will also be packed with necessary vitamins and minerals for a healthy pregnancy. And I've got the perfect chef along with me, this particular chef. Now, her surname has been pronounced many, many different different ways. In the past, it's spelled U-L-Y-A-T-E, which is Alyat, but some people say Ulyate, Alyate, all sorts of things. I know you've heard it all. I've actually heard it all on set.
Like basically here, yeah.
Yes, but Alyat, that's what it is. But I think let's get this thing started. Now, gnocchi, it's beautiful. For those who, because I think that gnocchi sometimes, in terms of the family where it comes from, not many people understand the makeup of what gnocchi is.
Yes. It's often confused with pasta.
Yes.
And it's different. It actually has potato in it. So potato, a bit of egg, a bit of flour. What I love about it is you can customize it. So you can throw some cheese in there, some spice. So it's not pasta, although it does seem kind of similar, doesn't it?
It does indeed. So we've pre-worked this, so we've given it a boil, and it's been sort of cooked in a way. And now what we're going to do is we're going to hit in the pan.
In the pan. You don't have to do this step every time you prepare gnocchi, but if you do, you're going to get that texture, that colour, that extra flavour from the butter. And the gnocchi's great because you can cook it very quickly. So 2 to 3 minutes in boiling water, and it's done. And you know how to tell when it's done?
How do you tell when it's done?
You chuck it in the pot, and when it floats to the top, it's ready.
Done and dusted. See, we're giving you the hacks today, the hacks that you need to proceed. Also, we want to pack in some nutrients as well with the accompaniments of our gnocchi salad. So we're going to take you through a couple of these as we go along. So now that we've got that toasting down,
I'm going to let that...
we're going to get some colour.
Yep.
Just good.
Yes, and you'll get that little bit of crispiness on the outside and the flavour from the butter. So I'm going to let that cook for a little bit.
Great.
And then I'm going to prepare our pumpkin seeds.
All right. So
this is the topping
pumpkin
for our salad. And also lots of nutrients.
Exactly. Zinc, irons in there as well, folic acid, all very important for the healthy development of a baba, which is great.
Yes, I mean, we should all be including seeds in our diet, but particularly expectant moms, it's perfect.
Pumpkin seeds, you know, when you do cook them down a little bit, as we will a little later, there's this beautiful nuttiness that comes through from it.
Gorgeous.
And I think it kind of elevates all of those flavors from your gnocchi as well. And I mean, I know that gnocchi as a potato sort of, meal item, flavor is what you need to put into it.
Absolutely.
It's important. So
and with your sauce and everything, you add that in. So I've just tossed this in the olive oil with our
Ooh, yes, please.
I know you like the...
I love the spiciness. Of course I do.
Pop it on your tray, and you're going to roast that for 5 to 10 minutes. You're just looking for that crunchiness. And then set that aside to pop on your salad.
Looks good already, actually.
And you can also customize that. Use different spices, even throw some herbs in there. Beautiful.
All right, and now we need so I think for that you do need some more nutrients. And now we've got some spinach.
Beautiful. Love a bit of spinach.
You know, our spinach has got so many great nutrients, like especially vitamin B9 as well, which is really great. Once again, development of the baby, your nutrition as well, which is so important.
Yes.
And I think adding any greens, I think that's the beautiful thing. When you know it's green, there's something about it that makes it super healthy and necessary as well. So I also got some greens on my side. I've got some Italian parsley.
You do?
Some seasoning, and then I want to finish it off with a good creaminess.
Yes.
And I think this is quite important. And I just...
You're going to mix that up for us.
Indeed. I've opted for Clover Classic, and I wanted to go with a mild tanginess because I don't want to overpower the great flavors that you already have in here. So just enough to elevate, and that's what the mild does. So let's go for it.
So
I'm going to give it a quick chop, and we're good to go.
And there again, you can play around with your herbs and add the ones you like. And you're just mixing it into the mayonnaise, and that's going to be our dressing.
Exactly.
So delicious. Right, so I'm going to add some garlic to our pan.
Already the aromatics are going to go in now, and they're going to just jump up a notch, which is going to be great.
So
I cannot
delicious.
wait.
We've also got some bacon that we cooked up a little bit earlier. So cook it to your liking, and then just add that in there.
And the great thing about you adding bacon over there is that now you also kind of reduce the salt a bit because the bacon already has that saltiness, so you don't have to over-season it.
Exactly.
Which is great. And we got our pumpkin seeds, which is also a bit of the saltiness coming through. So we're trying to minimize those additions of the salt here and there to also kind of try and create a bit of a healthy recipe, which is wonderful.
Exactly. So much flavor and so much nutrition. And this is going to be a really filling lunch or main meal, dinner. So beautiful.
With gnocchi, is there any way that you could sort of par cook it and store it so that you can just kind of, can you freeze it? I'm also thinking about how I would actually prepare a batch.
You could probably freeze it before you cook it.
Okay.
And then, but it cooks so quickly. I don't think there's any need to, to par cook, you'd cook for, probably 1 minute and then cook it for another minute later on.
Yes.
So it's so quick. I wouldn't necessarily do that.
Smells so
Doesn't
good.
Doesn't it look good? And I can see it starting to crisp up on the outside.
I'm ready for this meal. I'm ready. I'm ready for it. Even a gnocchi salad for breakfast, I mean, why not?
Let's do it.
Come on.
And then just to make sure we have enough flavor, I'm adding some Parmesan cheese. So so that's going to melt.
Great
I mean,
stuff.
that is beautiful.
Parmesan once again.
Divine.
Seasoning. It's gorgeous. It really is.
So delicious. Right, shall I do some
Yes.
grating here? So our spinach is going to be the base. You can use baby leaf spinach as well, which I absolutely love. So
I
delicious.
love that. And once again, vitamin B9. We've got our pumpkin seeds, so that folic acid. We've got zinc in there as well. So we are just really getting all of those healthy brain development nutrients into mom as well. This is just, it's phenomenal.
So delicious. Then our dressing can go on there.
Okay.
And then I'm going
Just
to
do a little bit, some drops of
drizzle.
dressing here, there, to make sure that we are just. Oh, we are. When are we starting our cooking show? Oh,
I'm in.
this is going to be great.
Oh, beautiful.
Just want to make sure. There we go. Now, if you want all of the ingredients, expressoshow.com, go grab all of these, try it, show us a picture on the Expresso Facebook page. And once again, Chef Teresa Aliet, fantastic. I see I said it correctly, and so
Perfect.
can you. But do this correctly first, and all the best with the recipe, and get those nutrients in.
Next Friday, it's the semi-final of the Tastemaster as Tando, Kyle, Jay and Ngobile head out to the Cape Winelands for their biggest challenge yet.
Today, I'm visibly panicking. I'm spinning out of control.
It's just too much.
Time is starting to catch up with me.
They burnt.
Whoa, I'm gutted. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going home, that's for sure.
Get ready to bake more memories with the Tastemaster SA, Friday evenings at 7 on SABC2. You belong.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're still live with Expresso, approaching the final hour of the show. But right now, we're going to put the brakes on and talk investment. In fact, we're talking Kruger Rands, the world's most widely held and actively traded gold bullion coin. It is the South African gold coin. And in fact, it was first minted back in 1967 and is now seen as very valuable. And we've got Brian Nordia from Goldbits joining us via Zoom to tell us how Goldbits is giving us the opportunity to purchase Kruger Rands in an easy and affordable way. Welcome, Brian. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks, Graham. How are you?
I'm very good, thanks. And I'm loving this resurgence of the gold coin, the iconic Kruger Rand. Now, I think a good place to start would be with a bit of background. Can you firstly tell us what is Goldbits?
Graham, Goldbits is essentially a Kruger Rand dealer. And we're involved with the supply of Kruger Rands to the market, just like any other Kruger Rand dealer. Now, what we've noticed in our years in the industry is a tendency for the upper end of the market having access to Kruger Rands, while the rest of the market is excluded to an extent. And what we've done is we've developed a product which gives access to everybody to Kruger Rands in a safe, affordable, and attainable manner.
I absolutely love that. And there seems to be, as I said, a resurgence of interest in Kruger Rands. What's driving that?
Well, there's a lot of factors that are in play here. You've got your political factors, political statements and actions which make people nervous. There are a lot of unregulated financial instruments available which also make people nervous. And people have realized that they have to take responsibility for their own financial security. And this has led to people realizing that a Kruger Rand has a lot of intrinsic value. It's not just a nice shiny coin that some rich guy owns, but it's actually a valuable item. Kruger Rands, for example, are very liquid in the sense that you could change them for cash literally within minutes. And they have this incredible growth, which you mentioned, over the last 50 plus years. They're also recognized globally. You mentioned that a Kruger Rand is very popular worldwide. And essentially, if you own a Kruger Rand, you own all the currencies in the world. And wherever you sell it, you earn that currency for your Kruger Rand. It's also guaranteed by the Reserve Bank, which gives it that legitimacy. And it is seen as legal tender in South Africa, which means it's basically a currency. So there are many other benefits to owning Kruger Rands. But the great drawback has always been, until now, has been that you have a limited access to it, and it's your top end of the market which could access it. And Krugerbits has turned that concept on its head. Goldbits, at least, has turned that concept on its head, in that we have now made it available to everybody.
I love that. It's kind of like the original Bitcoin. I love the fact that it is universal and transferable. And also for me, I suppose there's something emotional about it as well. I love the idea of having that as part of the legacy that I leave my children, perhaps. Big and important question, and please don't take this personally, but how do I know that you're not going to just disappear with my money? What assurances do I have?
Well, Graham, we, like any Kruger Rand dealer, we are subject to certain legal and regulatory requirements, which are all in place. And then in our vault, there is gold Kruger Rands that represent each gold bit that is sold. And that is audited monthly, and that audit report is sent to all of our clients. But I think the real peace of mind lies in the fact that any risk is limited to 99 Kruger bits. Now, a Kruger bit is 1/100th of a Kruger Rand. At least a gold bit is 1/100th of a Kruger Rand, which you buy and you accumulate up to, you get the 100. And once you've got 100, you get a Kruger Rand, which is yours to take with you. So your risk is limited to 99 gold bits. And once you buy your 100th gold bit, you get your Kruger Rand. So there is really limited risk in terms of that as well. And in the meantime, your gold is locked in a safe where it's looked after 24 hours a day.
I love it. You have democratized gold coins. I love it. Last question, how do I connect with Gold Bits?
Well, what you do is you can go to our website, www.sagoldbits.co.za, or you can download our mobile app and you can register for free. Once you've registered, you can start buying your gold bits as and when you like. Whenever you've got the funds for a gold bit, you can buy it, and so you can accumulate it. We also have a product called Gold Bits for Kids, where you can register your children, and then your children can start saving up their gold bits, and you can buy them gold bits for their birthdays, for Christmas, to reward them for good school marks, whatever the case can be. Your friends and family can contribute to it. The way you do this is by buying a Gold Bits voucher, and you can also buy Gold Bits vouchers for your family and friends. as a gift or to reward your employees to contribute to their savings. Really, the opportunities are immense. There are so many ways that people can participate, and we have truly made this available to the general public for them to own Kruger bits.
I love it, Brian. Thank you so much. And one thing we know, it's only going to get more valuable. Brian, thank you so much. I look forward to my sample being sent in the mail so I can get a first-hand taste. We really do appreciate your time this morning and the fact that you have made gold accessible to the nation. So Gold Bits is an incredible way to invest, and we are looking forward to finding out more about this incredible product range very soon. But for more information right now, either download the app or visit goldbits.co.za.
The democratization of gold is here. Accumulate your Kruger Rands on a safe, affordable and easily accessible 24-hour platform. Register now. Goldbits. Bit by bit.
Booyah, perfect timing. It's just gone on 8 o'clock sharp, and that means it's time to take a look at the news. And starting on national fronts, the SABC has doubled down on its plans to scrap the traditional TV license model in SA in favor of a new public media levy. Now, presenting to Parliament, the national broadcaster said that the new levy would be device independent and apply to all households and businesses. Now, it would be based on whether South Africans can access the content, not just whether they watch it. However, it will provide for an exemption for the needy and discounts for pensioners. Some 82% of South Africans are currently not paying their TV license. And now for more news in the SA Health front, the SA Health Products Regulatory Authority, SAHPRA, says it will commence with the assessment of data for the safety and efficacy of a third dose of a Pfizer booster shot. Now, this comes as the US Food and Drug Administration on Friday backed the emergency authorizations for booster shots of the Pfizer and Moderna COVID-19 vaccines. Now, SAHPRA said results from Pfizer's phase 3 clinical trials with more than 10,000 participants found that the third dose was safe and effective. Now, from national news to international fronts, with Zambia coming up next, where more than 1.5 million people in Zambia will require food aid during the lean season that started in October and stretches to March next year. Now, this despite a good harvest in 2021. Aid agencies operating in Zambia attribute the urgent humanitarian crisis to relatively high maize prices and flooding and pests from the last rainy season. Now, this figure is likely to increase if there's no intervention by aid organizations. Now, last week, China donated some 3,000 tons of maize to assist about 50,000 households. Now moving to Austria, who has become the first country in Western Europe to reintroduce a total lockdown since it began COVID-19 vaccinations. Now all non-essential stores, pubs and cafes are closed due to increasing cases. Now, Austria's Chancellor Alexander Schallenberg said he was sorry that Austria had to make COVID-19 vaccinations a legal requirement, but the current low uptake or take-up rate was, and I quote, too little, too late. Now, he said nobody wishes the situation where you don't get access to an intensive care unit bed because the beds are filled with sick, unvaccinated people. Now, next up, news on eThekwini's spectacular sand sculpture competition. Now, Lindo Zungu of KwaXhabisa in KwaZulu-Natal was victorious in the sand sculpture competition at Durban's South Beach during the weekend and bagged a grand prize of 10,000 Rand. Now, Lindo says he plans to buy a car with his winnings as a further investment in his cattle stock back home in KwaXhabisa. Now, he has been a sand artist for 18 years, and it's how he earns his actual living too. Now, his sand creations on beaches are admired by thousands throughout South Africa, and along with him, Lucas Mahlangu came second and won 5,000 Rand, along with Jabulani Ndlanzi, who also placed third and walked off with 2,500 Rand. Now, the artist's brief for the competition was, "My city, our city, the place to be." And the competition was held alongside the COSAFA Beach Soccer Championships at Durban's new beach, where Mozambique won the finale. Now, city spokesperson Masakwa Mayisela says the hosting of the COSAFA
COSAFA Beach Soccer Championship was a step towards realizing Durban's vision to grow beach sports. And he quoted, "We wish our beaches to be fully utilized for sport, leisure and tourism." Well, on that note, I leave you with the rest of the weather. For now, it's time to take a look at the weather, it seems. And yeah, coming right up in just a bit, here is Zoe with it all.
Thank you, Ryle. Well, flooding has subsided and clearing up operations are in full swing, the George municipality in the Western Cape said last night. This after heavy rain and extensive flooding caused havoc in various areas along the Garden Route yesterday. Several areas were underwater after heavy downpours, and emergency services had to rescue several trapped residents and motorists. Many roads were closed and municipal services disrupted. By 4 p.m, 139 millimeters of rain had been recorded at George's water treatment works. 49 schools in the George area were closed, but the Western Cape Education Department spokesperson Bronner Hammond said the department had ensured that all matric examination centres were open to afford grade 12 candidates an opportunity to write. Contingency arrangements for learners were made in many instances to reach their examination venues. One learner used a tractor to get from Puckelsdorp to his school in George. The well-known singer-songwriter Elvis Blue's home was one of many that was flooded. We are sending all of our thoughts and prayers to all of those affected during this time, and we're going to also take a quick moment to recap some of the sunrise views that were shared on the Expresso Facebook page. John Jordan started us off this morning with this hazy image of the day beginning at the Vaal River. One of our regulars, Gary Orkamp, captured this beautiful image of the mother city during a recent visit to Cape Town. Jason Sebastian from Delportshoop in the Northern Cape shared this silhouetted image showing off the warm hues cast across the sky. And then last but not least, Razine Pandi from Gqeberha captured this breathtaking image of the sun coming up over the ocean, just managing to cast a beautiful glow across the area as it breaks through the cloud cover. Thank you for those beautiful images. Let's look at your temperatures one last time. If you're in Polokwane, a low of 14, a high of 25. Mbombela 16, reaching a high of 27. Partly cloudy in Pretoria, 14, 27. Johannesburg 13 with a high of 25. Mahikeng 14, 29. Partly cloudy in Klerksdorp with a high of 28. Kimberley 11, 25. Bloemfontein some thunder showers with a high of 22. Thunder showers in Richards Bay, 16 is your low, 24 your high. Pietermaritzburg 11 reaching a high of 20. Thunder showers in Durban, 16 is your low, 24 your high. Mthatha reaching a high of 18 degrees Celsius. East London 14 with a high of 20. Rain can be expected in Cradock, a low of 7, a high of 19. Gqeberha 14 reaching a high of 20. The rain continues in George today, a low of 13, a high of 19. If you're in Cape Town, it's partly cloudy, reaching a high of 22. Worcester 11, 24. Sutherland 7, 21. And a sunny day ahead in Uppington, a low of 17 and a high of 31 degrees Celsius. Well, that's where we leave your weather on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Thanks a lot, Zoe. We're joined by neo-traditional music artist Dizu Plaatjies, who is an expert in African percussion instruments. He is performing a few pieces for us in a style traditional to the ancient San population, something he has been working on reviving for the past 2 years. And here he is performing a very special piece on something called the Umkhobe. Enjoy. once again, I will quote Dizo Plaatjes, no doof doof. But neo-traditional music is what you can experience here, and that's at the second Constellations Theatrical Campfire Gatherings, 25 November to 18 December. Tickets at Web Tickets, and go see this talented individual there, as well as another taste of him a little bit later on your Feel Good Breakfast show.
It's my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back. You are live with Expresso as we now start a very important conversation, certainly one for parents to be. World Prematurity Day is a vital day. It's recognized annually on the 17th of November to raise awareness around the challenges and the burden of the preterm births faced by babies themselves and, of course, the families that are supporting them. It is quite something to deal with. This morning, we are joined by Dr. Gugu Kali to unpack this all-important topic. And if you have any questions or maybe some nice positive stories that you'd like to share about your preemie journey, then head over to the Expresso Facebook page. Doc, great to be joining you. Maybe let's set the scene here. At what point is a pregnancy, the baby considered to be premature? What is that window?
Okay, thanks for having me. So babies that are born before 37 completed weeks after the last menstrual period, that would be considered premature.
How prevalent is this? How many babies face this risk?
So prematurity is quite a big problem worldwide. About 15 million babies worldwide are born every year before term.
Wow.
And if I had to estimate in our country, that's over 100,000 babies every year. So more than 1 in 10 babies.
Wow, so it's very prevalent. So
quite
the
a big-
management of the outcomes then becomes vitally important. How do we improve those outcomes? Are we getting it right here in this country?
Well, it varies a little bit, and progressively care is getting better, but it is still a big problem. So one of the ways that people can help is to make sure that they firstly plan to get pregnant, and then once they've planned, and then to attend antenatal care so that they get as good care as they can, so that if there are problems and if we know that the baby is likely to come premature, then we can do everything we can to improve the likely outcome of the baby.
Let's push to the negative end of the scale. What are some of the worst outcomes in this space? What are the real dangers?
So the absolute worst is the leading cause of death of little children. But the babies that do survive prematurity can have many complications in the immediate period, but they can also survive with lots of problems. They can have cerebral palsy, they can have intellectual problems, they can have behavioral problems. So there's lots of problems. They can even have metabolic syndrome as adults.
This places a lot more pressure on the new parents, and we know that just being a new parent in itself is quite a challenge, but having these kind of issues complicating things. So let's set the scene here for those parents that are going into this phase of life. What do they need to prepare for, maybe mentally and emotionally, because it's going to be a roller coaster in that sense, and then especially moving into that discharge phase, what do you need in place?
Okay. So firstly, if you know, so there's varying degrees of prematurity. So the bigger prems are maybe not so much of a big problem because they may have some problems but don't need to stay in hospital for a long time. But if you have a very early prem, firstly, you have to expect to stay in hospital for a long time, which is not easy. And especially if you have other children, then you neglect them because you're spending all your time in hospital. And then even after discharge, because they often have problems that go on after they've left hospital. So you need to prepare. So breastfeeding is very important for all children, all babies, but even more so for prem babies. And then also what we call kangaroo mother care, where the mother puts the baby on skin to skin. And that also is very good for the baby's development, and also it promotes breastfeeding and also for stimulation, and it has all sorts of benefits. So those are the things that the mother, and well, kangaroo care even the father can do actually. But also you need to expect that you'll be visiting the hospital quite a lot because there's a lot of things that need to be followed up even after discharge. So
one thing I will say is, because someone very close to me, two of my best friends, their firstborn was born prematurely, and all I remember is us not being able to actually go and meet him. So, and you could only go one at a time and then stand in the room with the gallery of people watching you bawl your eyes out because you're now meeting this little life in that situation. But it also reinforced to me how good our doctors are working in this pediatric space, really are, and the teams of nurses. So we are well looked after in that space. So you keep doing the amazing work that you are doing. And hopefully to those parents that are out there, that at least educate yourself and make a point of getting to know the team that's going to be helping you through that journey. But we are certainly sending you lots of love and positive energy if you're going through that right now.
Such an important conversation to have, and we absolutely love it. Now, every Tuesday, we have another important conversation, and that is bringing you Pharmacy of the Week, a short feature that acknowledges the incredible people working on the front line.
Yeah, now this is our way to say thank you to these brave healthcare workers, and this is proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram's OTC sponsors of Brave.
So let's take a look at this week's Pharmacy of the Week, Broadway Pharmacy in KwaZulu-Natal.
Our pharmacies are on the front line of healthcare. This is Pharmacy of the Week.
we've been in the area a long time. We have a lot of old customers. When the hard lockdown hit, everybody still made it to work. We were all terrified. We all walked in the door. Nobody went off sick. Nobody took leave. Nobody was absent for any reason. They all just came in here. And we didn't know what COVID was. We didn't know. It was a silent thing. It was a terrifying thing. We never had anyone, to my knowledge, who got COVID from work because we were very careful. We started every day with a 20-minute to half-hour chat to all the staff. We were getting a lot of information sent to us all day long. It was a lot of information from Department of Health and this kind of thing. That's why we had to start every day with a 20-minute, this is what they're saying now. This is what we're going to do now. This is how we're going to deal with it now, you know. On a weekend, a granny came in and she asked for sedatives for children, for 3 children. We said, why? She says, well, I've got to go and tell them their mothers just died. And that was happening a lot. And you know, the staff were very traumatized by that. But they came back. They kept handling the people really well, and it was scary. It was very scary. We were all scared.
Pharmacy of the Week, proudly brought to you by Adcock Ingram OTC, sponsors of Brave.
I love this. Pharmacies are absolutely incredible, and the people who work in them, because they know you, they know your family, and they know what's best for you. So thank you so much.
So true. We thank everybody that's on the front line and doing the work. And of course, we absolutely appreciate you.
Now, speaking of health, we have a viewer on the line who is struggling with lactose intolerance. Now, some of the most popular and uncomfortable symptoms experienced with lactose intolerance, it includes bloating, some cramps, upset tummy, and nausea. But the great news is that you can #BeFreeLactoseFree thanks to incredible range of milk, Mars, and dairy snacks from Clover Nolac. Now, we've asked you on our social media pages if lactose intolerance is a challenge for you, and there have been so many responses. And joining us now on the line is Kamogelo Ditabo to tell us a little bit more about lactose intolerance difficulties. Kamogelo, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
You know what, I am good, but today is all about you. Do you mind telling me when you started to realize that, you know, you may be lactose intolerant? What were some of the triggers for you?
Well, it started about 5 years ago in my early 20s. It just became more visible and I became more reactive.
Really? What were some of the symptoms you experienced when when you had some dairy, and how did it make you feel?
Well, the main symptom is bloating. I have experienced discomfort and the feeling of being stuffed in my belly, together with some mild pain on my belly button.
Oh, it sounds uncomfortable. Kamogelo, tell me that, you know, with Clover's Nolac, they have a bigger range with lactose-free milk. There's Mars and some dairy snacks. Which product are you eager to try most?
Definitely the milk. I'm a morning person, and my day starts with the milk fix, if I may. So whether in my coffee or my cereal, I'm definitely all about the milk.
Oh, well, listen, I'm with you on that. I love my cereal in the morning too. But Kamogelo, thank you so much for joining us today. And today we declare you free, lactose-free of your symptoms thanks to Clover Nolac. You are the lucky winner of an amazing Nolac hamper to the value of 1,000 Rand. Now, do you have any delicious meals in mind of what you would like to make with the Nolac range?
Well, for now, I would like to try new recipes. So I will be checking out the website for more recipes in order for me to enjoy.
Oh, well, listen, we want to see pictures and enjoy all of the cooking. Thank you, Kamogelo. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
There we go. Well, you can be free, lactose-free with Clover Nolac and their amazing range of lactose-free Mars, milk, and dairy snacks.
Made with love by Clover.
Morning, Mom.
Look what we made for breakfast. Pizza! Hey, Mom, I'll see you soon. How many of these are we going to do?
Right.
Right.
Love you, Mom.
Love you guys. The illness insurance I took out is really going to help now.
Old Mutual's illness insurance pays out a single amount of up to 6 million rand for whatever you and your family might need while you recover.
Sorry, Mom.
Make great financial decisions for you and your family and earn Old Mutual rewards points.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back as we rejoin a very important medical discussion this morning, and we are honing in on an incredible hospital right now. The Tygerberg Hospital services the Western Cape, the Eastern Cape, Northern Cape, and then parts of Namibia as well. In fact, the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, a public benefit organization and non-profit organization, has the sole objective of supporting mother and child patients at the Tygerberg Hospital, and they are doing it with aplomb. Now, this morning, we are joined by Jason Falcon, the CEO of the Tygerberg Children's Trust, to discuss their role in supporting prematurely born babies and their families, because they need a lot of support and it's quite dynamic. Now, if you'd like to ask any questions, just head over to the Expresso Facebook page. You know we are tracking that constantly. Jason, welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I suppose on behalf of all the parents and the babies that you've helped, thank you for the work that you are doing. Maybe talk us through the trust as a starting point here and the kind of services and the help that you offer parents and baby.
So the trust supports the children of Tygerberg Hospital, which, as you mentioned, is quite a large footprint. So just in terms of kids, I think around 2 million kids in the province. So 60% of those draw to Tygerberg Hospital as a primary healthcare facility. Those are the kids that we support. Of course, Tygerberg Hospital supports a wide range of medical services, and the trust provides support across all of those. In terms of prematurity, that's very dear to the Trust's heart. We've been engaged with supporting them for many, many years. And Tygerberg Hospital has the most premature babies at push probably on the African continent. So wow. It's a large job for us to continually support them and the hospital staff that are trying their best to support the kids there.
And quite an emotional journey to walk. I've experienced, I was saying to Gugu a moment ago, what it's like to be in that space with a premature baby, and it's so emotional. But our staff working in these facilities are amazing, and I suppose there is a massive advantage to have taken your institution's specialization as far as you have. So you have the skills and you sit at the forefront. But what led to you using the trust to unlock that potential? What led to the establishment of the trust? Why go that route?
Well, the trust was founded way back in 2001 with the patronage of Archbishop Emeritus Desmond Tutu and Malaya Tutu, with the purpose of supporting the kids at Tygerberg Hospital. But the needs are so broad. We've almost had to, as the trust, find a language to try and articulate that. Okay. And we do that through what we call 4 baskets of care, one of which is neonatology, the other is specialized care, general pediatrics, and then social development, which speaks to the holistic approach to wellness that the trust takes.
That social development angle is so vitally important here in South Africa, where there is such a disparity between the haves and the have-nots. I think it's a challenge for a family with a lot of resource, never mind somebody who is coming from a disadvantaged position. So I get that, and it makes so much sense. You obviously have to go above and beyond to get money in. We need, ultimately, funds to be able to support what you're doing. And to fundraise recently, you had the Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust World Preemie Festival. What was that all about? How did it go down, and what was the purpose of doing something like that?
Well, you know, way back in 2019, some of the neonatal nurses approached us to help them celebrate World Preemie Day, which is on the 17th of November. So we started a small community fair at the hospital with a 5K fun walk. This year we decided, you know what, there's so much awareness firstly that needs to be driven around premature babies, and there's really such a community passion around supporting our premature babies. Let's do a festival. So we came up with a series of events and stressed that over a week. According to Google, this is the world's first World Preemie Festival, so we're quite proud of that. And the events are basically the same community fair and fun walk at Tygerberg Hospital that kicks off the festival. That was on Saturday the 13th. Sunday the 14th, we did something very new. It's a 51-kilometer ultra charity run.
Wow.
From Gordons Bay around Clarence Drive, that beautiful scenic route.
It's a bit of a step up from the 5K.
Yeah. Not the same audience, of course. All the way to Kleinmond.
Wow.
And it's an invitational run for very special athletes who are prepared to run that on behalf of our premies.
Brilliant.
And the theme of World Preemie Festival is actually a lesson that we learned from Preemie babies, which is the courage and resilience to survive. And that's what the run is all about.
And it's amazing how many of those premature babies, and I've again seen this firsthand, grow up to be such strong and wonderful human beings, I think because of the emotional support that they get. And it's amazing how a baby can pull a family together in that sense, and a broader family as well, like the family at Tygerberg. I know what you do is driven by purpose, so thank you so much for that. I look forward to next year a 3-day festival taking place, and I might even give the 51K a crack, but a brilliant way to support a team, a family, as I said, doing amazing work in that premature baby space. Jason, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, listen, it's time for us to now whip up something delicious. And when it comes to pregnancy, ensuring that you eat nutritious meals is so important. And there is nothing better than enjoying a refreshing glass of 100% crush while basking in the sun, outdoors, maybe when, you prepare a delicious meal to go with it, then it is a winning combination. Now, Teresa is in studio to show us how to make our white bean and spinach quesadillas that are not only packed with flavor, but they also make for a healthy snack for the whole family. Now that is 100% goodness. Teresa, I love quesadillas.
Me too. Absolutely love them. And again, a very quick meal to prepare, which is great.
We are here for quick and easy.
Always, always, especially this time of the year. So I've got some onions that I'm softening in the pan, and I'm going to add some garlic.
Oh, garlic's always a winner.
Have to have it, and some fresh thyme. If you don't have fresh, just add dried, that's absolutely fine. And then we're going to add some butter beans. Now, these, of course, are very nutritious, and you can use any type of bean that you like, so cannellini or kidney beans, whatever you feel like. And you're just going to fry those off for a few minutes.
So this is a great meat-free option.
Yes.
I know a lot of families are also incorporating their meat-free Mondays. So here you 100% focus on less meat, more of the nutrients, and beans are one of my favorites.
Me too, me too. And with the onion and the thyme, I can just smell this beautiful thyme smell. It just gives them that extra flavor, which is wonderful.
But how do kids take to the beans?
So I still have to hide them. So if I'm doing a bolognese or a pasta sauce, I'll add some lentils. And they're fine with them. So I'm gradually trying to get them used to that.
Well, something you don't have to hide is, of course, your crush 100% goodness. We have some orange juice here that we're going to serve alongside our yummy spinach and butter bean quesadillas.
Right, so I'm just going to add some salt and pepper, and then we're going to put this in the blender.
Okay. Ideally, I'm assuming you would want it to cool down slightly.
You would, yes, yes.
But we are cooking for TV, so we do it immediately.
So let me get this into the blender. And you're going to blitz it into a paste.
Is that how we hide the beans from the kids?
So definitely, they won't know any better. They're just going to taste this beautiful flavor and then get all those nutrients.
Oh, fabulous. So as it is, I just blitz it up, or do I add a little bit of our lime, that's lemon that's in front of me?
Add a bit of lemon, yeah.
Squeeze
just
of
for the
lemon.
flavor. And if you find that it sticks in the blender, just add a little splash of milk and it'll loosen it up and get it going.
Okay, I think we should add just a little
Let's add
bit.
a splash, yeah.
A little splash.
And blitz that into a paste. And that's our filling for the quesadilla all done.
Oh, fabulous. So now we also need to incorporate the spinach. Are we serving it as is?
That's going to go into the quesadilla. Ah, there we go.
We have a perfect paste.
All right. So we're going to pop that onto our tortilla, sorry. Just spread that on.
Almost looks like hummus a little bit.
It does, and it just smells fantastic. And you know the nutrition factor is going to be in there as well. So pop that on, and then add your spinach. We're using baby leaf spinach, so you get your greens in. And then that goes into the pan.
Ah.
Just like that. So you pop one at the bottom, another one on top, and then you're just going to fry it until it's golden on both sides, and then you can slice it, cut it into wedges, and serve.
Oh, amazing. 100% goodness. Of course, you get to enjoy it with your Crush 100% fruit juice.
Ah, thank
there
you.
we go. Cheers to that, and cheers to you. If you want to get your hands on this delicious recipe, we have it available for you. It's on our website, expressoshow.com.
Yes, bring the family. 100%. Your cousin's coming over. Get the Crush and I'll get the ice.
The whole family.
More Crush, Mom. 100% refreshing, 100% goodness.
Made with love by Clover.
Catch Color Your Plates with Koo Wednesday evening at 7:30. What will our 5 passionate home cooks be using?
Today you'll be hearing Koo's new range of pilchards.
And joining the judging panel is host of Noot vir Noot, Emo Adams.
Sy het baie brood gevat.
Just in case.
The food is undercover. That's why they call it spikos.
Who will be Mzansi's next cooking star on Color Your Plates with Koo? Wednesdays at 7:30 on SABC2.
Can you make it bigger on the screens? I can't see it on that one. If you can, yeah, thanks. Because I know we have a lot of Sharons. Sharon? Welcome back as we dive right back into a brilliant conversation this morning, talking health matters, premature babies to be specific. And we have spent this week's health segment chatting with specialist neonatologist Dr. Gugu Khali, as well as CEO of the brilliant Tygerberg Hospital Children's Trust, Jason Falcon, finding out a bit about the challenges faced for families and for those preemie babies, as well as the, I think, the support structures that need to go into it. So we put it to you guys on our Facebook page to weigh in with any comments or questions. And I'll hone in on one comment that came through this morning. And Doc, maybe I can put this to you. Sharon was saying that she's, and just to summate it, that she's had 3 premature babies. Is there a genetic predisposition? Is there something that would lead to a woman having 3? Do you look at it as 3 individual cases? Is there a common link?
So there are various reasons to have premature babies for different people. So if you have had one premature baby, the likelihood of having another baby is higher.
Okay.
But there are also, I don't know what Sharon's situation is. It may be that she has an illness that makes her get delivered early electively because of her own health problems. There may be physical problems with the uterus that may make her go into prem labor early. So there's various reasons that may make specific people more likely to have premature babies.
Well, we certainly commend Sharon for having gone through that journey 3 times over. Jason, to wrap up from your side, you were saying a moment ago to me that you need to raise around 100 million, or at least that's the goal, which means you need help. How can the public support your efforts? What do you need?
Well, first and foremost, we need lots and lots of friends. The Trust is just a small team of people, but we've created various platforms for people to come on board and support us. So we have a wonderful volunteering platform called the Champions for Children. It's a very simple registration process. If you go to our website, which is tygerbergchildren.org.za, there's an online form you can fill in. Currently, our volunteers are sitting at 150. People, and they volunteer with all sorts of things. They help us with fundraising, they help us with events and awareness, they help in and out of the hospital. So that's one way. And of course, we need lots of funds. And you can also donate to us directly on our website. There's a payment portal there. Or just reach out to us and have a discussion around how you can get involved.
Yeah, I always like to think you just catch the right person at the right time, that one CEO who has had a personal experience in that space, and you're already winning. I just keep thinking of the support that's needed for a family that's going through this. So what do we do as partners for each other, as parents, as family members, friends? How do we support a family going through this process? In your experience, seeing it firsthand, what's needed, do you think?
Thank you. That's a great question. So fathers can certainly get involved. So as I mentioned before, they can do the kangaroo mother care.
And it's lovely.
Give the
a little
mother a bit of a break.
Respite. Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
Yeah. But also, if you remember, the parents spend a lot of time focusing on the premature baby, spend a lot of time in the hospital. So friends and family can certainly help by taking care of some of the practical things, some of the things that they can't now do because they're spending time.
Especially if there are other siblings involved.
Exactly. They can take the other children out for a bit. They can help them with meals. Can help them take them to the hospital, because for some of our parents, it's actually not easy to get themselves to the hospital. So I think just remembering that they, and it can also get quite lonely because you're now spending all your time with the child. So even just visiting them might help them emotionally.
So much of this says community is key here, which I think is why we have awareness days like this. Jason, I'm gonna round off with you, because you obviously have. There is a reason why you guys do what you do. Why should people support your efforts? Why is this work so important?
You know what I've learned is preemie babies come into this world fighting. So they actually teach us about courage and resilience, like I said earlier. But it doesn't stop once they leave the hospital. They seem to carry that throughout, they and their families and their moms carry that throughout their whole lives. So they need support not just when they're born. they need support throughout the entire life cycle as a child and into young adults. How do we, as communities of people, gather around an organization like the Trust and leverage support to support our kids?
I love that. We are one tribe. Every child is our child. That's the only way we move forward. You're both doing incredible work. So the next time you pass each other in the halls, just give each other a doff of the cap, just a little nod to say, well done. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know it can be a very challenging and arduous journey, but with amazing people in your corner, I know it can be made simpler. The fact is, there is a community out there for you if you are going through this journey. As Doctor pointed out, it can be incredibly lonely, so connect with that community. And certainly if you're a family member, if you're a partner, a parent going through this process, just make sure you take the time to make sure that you're okay as well, and just sending you so much love.
It's time to honour our heroes, and in partnership with Adcock Ingram, sponsors of Brave, it's time to celebrate and commemorate just how far we have come as a country.
So we asked you to get up and dance as we rise together, and this is to beat the virus. And you can watch the pupils at Deutsche International Schule Johannesburg, Parktown High School for Girls and Grooteskiel Primary show off their rocking moves to spread unity through dance.
Dance of Brave was truly exhilarating. Seeing my sisters being as excited and proud of what we're doing as I was truly the most exciting part of my week and probably my year. So doing the dance as a whole, I saw sisterhood and unity amongst everyone, and something that we were truly missing was that spirit, and it was brought back alive through this.
One of our visions and our mission that is creating confident and courageous young women. I think courageous and brave is the same, and for me it entails so much. You know, I watch girls who come here who are so brave in everything that they endure, what they do or don't have, what they've had to do to get here. There's girls who are brave in just coming to school every day because of the issues that they face personally or in their circumstances. So I think brave is so many different things, and obviously at a school like this we see so many examples of it. So yes, it's just showing up. It's being yourself, it's putting one foot in front of the other and just hanging on till you get there.
The word brave means to me being your true, authentic self, regardless of what society or the people around you tell you. Standing up for what you believe in, even when that might be not what others believe in. Truly being the change that you want to see in the world.
The word brave is, stepping out of your comfort zone, and I think that's what each and every one of these kids have done. The fact that they just showed up today to perform, I mean, there were people watching as well as cameras and millions of people out there that they're performing to. Maybe they didn't know that though. But it takes guts, I heard a quote the other day. It said, we were not made for comfort, we were made for greatness. And that's what these kids are doing. They're showing up, they're just pushing themselves. They're being brave. They're being brave every day. And sometimes I think just showing up, just getting out of bed in the morning is brave. I know a lot of people this time has been so difficult. The last 2 years almost have been so difficult. So for people to keep working and keep going and keep coming to school, it takes bravery. And I love this. I love the whole initiative, South Africa, Be Brave, you know? Be Brave Mzansi.
Brave means never to give up. Brave means to do your best always. Brave means to deal with the situation and find the best way to deal with it. Because bravery also means that the situations that you would find yourself in is not necessarily always the best situation you're going to be in. But you have to be brave, you have to be resilient, you have to go and work at the situation to try to make the best of the situation that you find yourselves in. And I think children has taught me that.
My message of encouragement to the youth would be to not lose hope. Our present as well as our future are in our hands, and we need to do everything in our power to ensure that the coming future is just as bright and amazing as we hope it to be. So our actions today, every single day, will dictate the future that we will have.
There we go, South Africa. No matter how you are, how old you are, it could be young, could be old. If you can dance, if you can't dance, doesn't matter, because you just have to dance for the brave.
That's right. Are there a couple of moves you would add to the dance?
Yeah, I think I might just do like maybe just a stuck da, da, da.
That could work.
And then I go there, yeah, just a couple of moves.
You
I'll
don't
just
want to add
it, yeah.
the moves that Wasey just showed you. You can find the dance tutorial and the entry details at partners.24.com/Be Brave Mzansi. I'll give that to you again, partners.24.com/Be Brave Mzansi, and stand a chance to win weekly cash prizes of 5,000 Rand when you submit your video.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. I think we're all super excited for Black Friday, and we are unlocking red this summer with Vodacom's red plans and amazing Black Friday deals with up to 70% off on smartphones, laptops, fiber, and more everyday weekend this November.
The timing is perfect for this, don't you think? The festive is here, it's time to get gifts, it's time to celebrate and give yourself a gift too. Now, we've been looking at some amazing hot deals this November with Vodacom, and how's the Black Friday deal search coming along for you?
Well, listen to this. Vodacom is having this insane SIM-only deal this weekend where you can get a SIM-only package with 800 gigabytes of data for only 349 Rand per month, which was 1,199 Rand per month. That's 70% off a total saving of 20,400 Rand over 24 months.
Yo, I am just going crazy thinking of what I could do with all that data. Please, I actually need to get this. Now, it's not just that. Plus, many more hot deals available in-store and online. Now, to kick things off this summer, Vodacom is giving away 10 gigs of data each week for the month of November. And all you have to do is reply to the competition post on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram and tell us what you love about always staying connected with friends and family. Simple as that.
That's right. Remember to use that hashtag Vodacom Black Friday. The competition closes on Thursday, the 25th of November at 10 a.m. T's and C's can be found on our website, expressoshow.com.
Unlock Black Friday deals with Vodacom every weekend this November with up to 70% off smartphones, laptops, fiber, and more. Don't miss out. Further together. Vodacom.
Great deals and a great wrap to your show. Now we're joined by neo-traditional musician Dizu Plaatjies, who is an expert in African percussion. There's an event coming up. It is the Second Constellation Gatherings. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. It's Speed Wine Farm. Get your tickets and web tickets. It is something for the entire family, especially if you want to get steeped in tradition. And this is from the San population, a very, very unique instrument called Ohadi. It is a bow with attached calabash, and he's about to give you something incredible. This is Dizu Plaatjies on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Nothing beats being free for breakfast with the team or having family brunches for life as it used to be. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.